first time, the Senate has said no to President Trump's war in Iran.
On this motion, the yeas are 50, the nays are 48. The concurrent motion is agreed to.
The resolution already cleared the House, but the White House says it has no significance because there are no hostilities. Yet, President Trump is asking for another $80 billion on top of the nearly $30 billion the Pentagon says has already been spent, Trump calling it a very cheap price to pay to stop a nuclear Iran, and says Iran would be wise to allow nuclear inspectors. Telling a crowd in Pennsylvania today,
if Iran's reasonable, if they're smart, otherwise we'll have to finish the job, which will take about maybe less than a week.
The Supreme Court rules that if you lose your house in a tax sale, you are not owed fair market value from the government. Sell-off in tech stocks. The Nasdaq fell 2.2%, S&P down 1.4% today. This is ABC News. Voters care more about protecting public health than lower food prices, says a Fox News poll, a viewpoint shared by Republicans, Democrats, and independents. Voters today are being heard in Utah in 3 East Coast primaries, South Carolina, Maryland, New York. President Trump, visiting Mack Truck in Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley, is claiming credit for the election results in the California governor's race for Steve Hilton after a long wait for the mail-in votes to get counted.
Over the next week, he was definitely going to lose, but the U.S. attorney called. We want to check your votes. About an hour after the call, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hilton has won. So had I not made that call, Steve Hilton would right now be watching the election from home.
He'll face off against Democrat Javier Becerra in the fall. Meta not commenting on a report in the New York Times that it's building an app similar to Polymarket and Kalshi. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Coming up, a promise to rebuild after fire destroyed a funeral home. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has our update. In Tacoma, westbound 16, your off-ramp to 6th Avenue and Pearl Street is fully blocked from a collision. If you take the Orchard Street exit prior to that, you can still easily access both 6th and Pearl. No word when this might reopen. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40 minutes. We're slow from MLK Junior Way all the way down to 516. Southbound 167, pretty thick there, south of State Route 18 into Puyallup. Here in Seattle, South 5 is heavy from the U District down past I-90 Linwood to Seattle, right around a 25-minute drive. South 405, it's packed from Northeast 8th all the way down to the Renton S-curves. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Val. Oh, we just did that. Up in Canyon Park, North 405, just past 527. That right lane is blocked from a stalled vehicle, and right now that backup starts at 522. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A fire in Seattle's Seward Park neighborhood destroyed a Jewish funeral home this morning. It's attached to the BCMH synagogue on South Holly Street. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha reports from that scene.
Flames tore through the roof and jumped to a nearby building where a woman lived. She escaped, but the fire destroyed the funeral home.
If you're Jewish, 90% of all Jews in Washington state use this facility.
The synagogue president, Yusuf Shulman, said responders were able to help get 2 bodies that were in caskets out of the funeral home. They were fully prepared for burial under Jewish tradition, and the caskets were not damaged by the flames.
And still no word yet on what caused that fire. Busy day of sports and celebrations helped Seattle set a new record for shared bike and scooter rides. City says more than 83,000 trips were taken last Friday, the highest single day total. Increase coming as people headed to the USA-Australia World Cup match, a Mariners game, and Juneteenth celebrations. Sound Transit's also reported a new record on Friday, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Sound Transit says preliminary numbers show about 280,000 Link Light Rail boardings leading up to, during, and after the big match between the USA and Australia, smashing the previous record of 220,000 from the Seahawks Super Bowl parade. Henry Benden is with Sound Transit.
Really what it means is that the investment we are making as a region in the light rail is absolutely paying off both for our residents and our visitors.
Benden says Sound Transit is preparing for even more big crowds as World Cup matches continue. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. is easing restrictions for Iran's national football team, allowing players to arrive 2 days ahead of Friday's match in Seattle. They'll have to leave immediately afterward, however. Meanwhile, Egypt will get limited time in the city with a training session set for Wednesday night. The team hoped to stay in Seattle after its match in Vancouver on Sunday. That request was denied, forcing a return to its Spokane base. To your forecast now. High clouds and hot weather this afternoon. Mid to upper 80s, some low 90s also on the map today. Another hot afternoon tomorrow, and then a big cool down to round out the week. Right now, 85 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
I didn't realize I pressed the button. The camera goes away from Aaron.
That's all you got to do.
And then, and then he's just stopping it from happening. Here we go. No, there's just, hey, there's Andrew. Hey. All right, this is fun. And there's Nate. Okay. All right, all right, here we go. Diving in the news. John Curley Show. We got a good one for you today. Well, you say that every day. Although some days you sort of shine in the big turd.
Yes. It happens.
Just keep shining. Hopefully everybody's not downwind to it. A little confession to make. Thank you, yes, old lady. This is tough to say. You know when your kids, when they're little kids, and they come into your bedroom and they're crying because they think there's a monster under the bed? You know that move as a parent you got to do? You go in, you're like, well, let's just go see. Oh, I don't think there's a... You turn the light on, you look under there, and then the kids, I don't want to look at it. Please. Oh. And then you go, there was no monster under there, right? So one time, I think it was Rye. I think it was Rye. There's a monster on the bed. I go back in, I go, no, there's no monster on the bed. So I turn the light on, and I reach my arm under the bed, and then with my other arm, I pull myself under the bed, go, he's going! It's terrible. I admit it. Admit it. Probably did some serious damage to the kid.
Definitely traumatic.
Oh, yeah. That was it. Then he peed his pants, and he never slept in his bed again, and then he slept on the floor of our room or at the bottom of our bed. But most parents, they know the routine if you're not, a guy going for the joke. But 2-year-olds find that type of humor just they can't get enough of it. But most parents know that you just you turn the light on, you look under the bed, and you say, no, there's nothing under there. And the kid looks at you, and they trust you because they know that you are looking out for them, right? I saw this study, and it was Arthur Brooks was talking about it today, that kids are avoiding a whole bunch of stuff because they are afraid. And they're not getting married. They're not driving. They're not drinking. I mean, that's good that they're not drinking. They're not drinking. They're not going out. They're not socializing. They're not asking out people for dates. They're not joining anything. They are fearful of the world. And I was trying to look into it, see why all of this ends up happening as it does. And here's, I think, one of the most interesting parts. That society, that's the systems that we have in place to educate our children, basically, they turn the light on. They say, yes, there is a monster under the bed, and the monster is capitalism, and the monster is racism, the monster is oppression, blah, blah, blah. You name it, whatever it is. It's under there, and it's coming to get you. And that's what they're taught. So you have entire generations of kids that are believing the world is a lot worse than it actually is. And there's teachers that are taught how to teach this type of stuff to these kids. So then what you have is some amazing, unfortunate statistics. Like, for instance, in 1940, 50% of kids in high school were asked, can other people be trusted? And 50% said yes. Guess where that number is today? What percent of high school kids say that people can be trusted? What do you think it is? 40. Andrew. 25. Nate, if you're paying any attention.
I'm always listening, and the answer is 33%.
The answer is, what percentage of people can be trusted? High school students asked. The answer is 13. So how do we go from 50% down to 13%. How does that happen? Well, it's taught in the schools. Teachers are taught to teach kids to be fearful of a whole bunch of things. There's a book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. It is currently required reading for teacher training programs in the United States. 2003 study of 16 schools out of education, 14 top schools all taught this. Was the most frequently assigned text, philosophy of education classes. The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Here's some beauties from this thing. It says the desire for personal success is a trick played on you by your oppressor. Quote, one of the methods of manipulation is to inculcate the individual with a bourgeois appetite for personal success. It teaches kids that academic content is an act of oppression. You go all the way. Now, you wouldn't be able to do this sort of stuff in the UK. The UK in 1996 had this thing called the Education Act that said anything that was sort of leaning towards political in the classroom had to be counterbalanced. So if they make the kids watch Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth, that triggers the release of additional information via opposing points of view. Now, they would never do that in the United States. So how do we end up with 13%, only 13% of kids saying that people can be trusted? Well, what you find out is that there's a Harvard youth poll that found 38% of young Americans believe that crime and disorder is getting worse. Only 10% say it's improving. Crime has been falling for 50 years. And get this, divorce on the way up or the way down? Does anybody know? More general knowledge questions. Andrew.
What?
Divorce. Up or down?
Up. Way up.
Up. Way up. Nate.
The answer is down.
Down. All right, Joe.
I'm gonna go with Nate on this.
Okay, what year did it hit its peak? Divorce.
1992.
92. Nate guessing wildly, pulling that one right out of his rear end.
2000. 2004.
Answer is 1980. That the world is a horrible place and you are now in the middle of some horrible place that's what most of these kids now believe. You don't trust your neighbor. You don't want to start a business. You don't want to get married. You don't want to have kids. You don't want to drive. You don't want to have a drink. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to barely leave the house. You don't want to talk to anybody. You only want to text somebody. And that, I believe, and this is where I get a little bit of, hang on, everybody. I think that's where the left comes in. I mean, the hard left, the people that you see, Mondani and maybe Katie Wilson's people, which is basically this. The world is horrible. The systems are totally screwed up, racism, blah, 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 all the rest of it. So we're going to come in and we're going to make the world better for you by creating a giant safety net for you, and we're going to protect you against all the systems that could possibly hurt you, like capitalism. And that's why you have such a huge amount of kids, right? 62% of Americans between the age of 18 and 20 now hold favorable views of socialism. 34%, roughly 18 million young Americans hold a favorable view of communism. So what are the parents supposed to do? Well, the good parent, would turn on the light, would get down on one knee, would look at the kid in the eye and say, the world is hard. Yep. Yes, it is imperfect. And there's some things you should worry about, but it's not the end. And people are mostly good. You are capable of more than you know, and the answer to the hard world is not to hide from it, but it is to build on it. I remember JFK. There was 40,000 people standing in front there in Rice University. He said, the sky is not falling. His famous quote was, we choose to go to the moon not because it is easy, because it is hard, because the goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Not safety, not protection. Measure the energy of our skills. That is what we owe the next generation. Not a bigger government to protect them from the monsters that are not there. Not a curriculum that teaches them that the world is on fire. The truth is, the light is on, and look onto the bed together. There is no monster. That's the best thing that we can offer our children so that they can go forth into the world. Let's hope we can get that number up from 13 back up to maybe half. Because if we continue with the downward slide, only 13% of people, high schoolers, believe their fellow man can be trusted. What type of world are we sending them out into? And why did we give them that information that the world is such a terrible place? Who benefits from that? I asked you. And I think some of the damage I've done to Rise psychologically was because of that great move under the bed like that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But my dad used to do that kind of stuff to us all the time. I still have trouble lighting the pilot light of the furnace because of what my dad used to do all the time. Like I don't know why he always had me do it. He's like, get down there with the lighter and just turn it on. You see it, and you hit the little button, click, 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 get the spark. You click, click, and then I would get down there, and he's like, hey, hold on a second. Look at that picture. See the guy with the flame shooting out of the back? There's like a stick figure, and he's on fire. You ever light a
pilot?
Yeah, pilot light. Yeah. And I'd be down there, terrified. And then as I would be leaning forward, he would put his hands behind me, like right around my hips, and go, ah! Oh, God!
Yeah, he has to play Closet Monster.
Monster Bag.
Or Monster Bag.
Monster Bag, all that stuff, yeah. All right, so I saw those numbers, and I also saw the number of kids. So number of kids that are drinking is way down. Number of kids having sex also down. People are like, well, those are both good things. They're risk adverse. They're terrified, or they're afraid. That's a terrible way to have to live, to be afraid of something, right? Yes, life can be frightening, but you learn something every time you get out there and you try something new, and you're like, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But if everybody tells you it's bad, that's a horrible way to have to live.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that they're risk averse, which is interesting and kind of concerning, at least coming from my experience. I also think there's a lot of factors at play here, not just hard left politics. I think it's parenting. It's
well, who taught the parents?
I don't know.
The teachers.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, surely some of it comes from the schools, but I don't think all schools are just saying, "Oh, be afraid and be terrified, and the world is completely unjust." Sure some do, but there's certainly well-adjusted kids out there that wouldn't blame everything on their education.
Right. I would put that in the category where they go home to the parents, and the parents are like, yeah, that's garbage. That's not true, right?
Sure.
Right. And why are you still in the class, but the kid can come home and tell their parents they told them that stuff, and like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So just keep going. But most of the parents sort of know, or they would go, hey, let's see if that's even true. What are the real numbers on this sort of thing? There's a book called Factfulness. Yeah, Factfulness. I read it because Bill Gates was one of his favorite books, and I was like, all right, if Bill Gates likes it. So I looked it up. It's a guy, this Swedish guy, who decides he wants to do a test, and he finds all of these questions that regarding, he's a Swedish physician, Hans Rosling. So he spends decades, he asks professors, politicians, Nobel laureates, investment bankers, basic questions about the state of the world. Things like global poverty, increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
That's right. More children vaccinated today than 30 years ago?
30 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes.
Thank you. Life expectancy, rising in poor countries or not?
Rising.
Yeah, that's right. But the vast majority of people believe that the world is poorer, less healthy, and more dangerous than it actually is. And what he found is that in most countries, they asked 14 different countries, and there are first world countries, they should be well educated. The majority of people got most of the questions wrong. Of the, I think it was 12 questions, they might get 2 right. And then he said, a monkey randomly choosing, a monkey got 30% of the answers correct, just randomly choosing. But most people had this view that things are horrible, and they've always been horrible. And you look at the numbers, you're like, no, things are actually improving. Every single decade or every century, things get better and better and better. And most people just don't know that. Why is that? And I know we're pre-programmed to see bad and see negative, but at the same time, you should be able to see the other side. Remember on the George Floyd stuff, there were people that considered themselves to be hard left or, very, very liberal. How many unarmed black men are killed every single year by police? The numbers? 10,000. 10,000, some people said. 10,000. The answer was 12. Now, why did you believe it was 10,000? Who told you? Now, listen, if I were living in a world where 10,000 unarmed black men are killed every year by police, you'd be like, that would be a pretty scary world. But if somebody, where did you get that? How do you believe that? And then your whole life is like, counter locked in to these things that you believe to be the world's coming to end. Al Gore was right. We're going to lose all this. We're going to, Florida's going to be 20 feet underwater. And if you believe all that sort of stuff, then, you go out into the world thinking, oh my God, this is a pretty horrible place. You become fairly nihilistic. And then you end up being, depressed all the time or suicidal, or you think, why should I even bother getting out of bed?
I think most of that blame lies on social media and kids' dependencies to it. I think obviously there's bad teachers out there, or really, social justice teachers, and they certainly exist. But I went to a high school kind of retirement party for one of my teachers a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked to realize that most of the same teachers are there, and none of them are like that. They're not, and this is in California. They're not crazy leftists. It's not a weird school. It's not, they don't have.
What district is it in? Like, what state is it? It's in California, but where? It's
near Santa Barbara. It's in Goleta. So, but social media, which amplifies just the craziest takes and the craziest perspectives and the craziest of everything, and whatever your doom scrolling is, that becomes your algorithm. I agree.
Listen, I think that's part of it too. But I don't know many kids that pay for their own phones.
No.
So that's where the parent actually has to become this thing called a parent.
Agreed.
And has to come in there and be aware of what they're getting from the thing. But it is reinforced. Now, maybe that part of California isn't as bad as Seattle and other school districts here in the state of Washington, where these teachers, out there protesting stuff and having them believe this garbage and just telling them, this guy's a horrible thing and this is terrible and sexism and racism and all the capitalism is awful, right? But that explains why people vote for somebody like Mondani or vote for someone like Katie Wilson. Because they just believe the system, it's so corrupt, we're going to flip it all the way over and start all over with some entirely new system that's had to go into place. I was reading about the DSA, that's the Democratic Socialists of America, and they hope within a couple of years to get rid of prisons and get rid of police. And there's a woman who's running in New York. I wonder if she wins today. Mondani's endorsed her. And she said, we're going to get to a point, we're not going to put people in prison because it's a system that failed them. And sending them to prison just only further traumatizes them. And when they asked, well, how about that guy that killed that other guy who was just sort of sitting on his stoop there in New York City, just random violence and cold-blooded murder, she said, well, I would not send the guy to prison because that only further affects the individual. Yeah. And then she says, well, the systems fail. That guy didn't really fail. He's a product of a broken system, so don't put him in prison. And they also want to get rid of police because they think, well, police are part of the system that is causing all these other. I mean, that's some serious kooky crap. And that's part of what the DSA is eventually would like to be able to get to. And that's why they're pretty proud of the fact that they've just elected they're going to get themselves a mayor in D.C. that's part of the DSA. You got New York City, you got Washington, you got Seattle. It's the Democratic Socialists of America. They just. The fact that you say we don't need no education says it all.
We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
Nice, Joe. One more? You got one more in you?
Teacher, leave those kids alone.
Nice. Here comes Nate.
Yes, sir. Everett to Marysville, a 20-minute commute. That's double the norm. Scattered backups from 526 up to 529. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're heavy from Lake City Way down to the Convention Center. Linwood to Seattle is a half hour. North 5 isn't terrible, but it is slow just before the West Seattle Bridge up to the Columbia Tower. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 35-minute drive. Hefty backup starts at 520. Now, Bellevue to Linwood is a 50-minute commute right now. We're crowded through Bellevue and Kirkland, then it clears out till you get into Bothell, where it's bumper to bumper from 160th up to 527 from an earlier stalled vehicle that has since cleared. So this is just going to start to improve from here. Seattle to Linwood, 25 minutes. Minor crowding from Northgate into Linwood. And down in Tacoma, we're all clear. Westbound 16 at 6th Avenue. That exit ramp has reopened. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Jason Rantz here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Meet Lee Platz,
A renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Soak in the heat and the sunshine for now. It will not be here much longer, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Aller.
Check out Thursday. From 7 through noon, it's just cloudy. And noon through 5, while I don't expect a lot later Thursday, we are opening things up into some rain coming through that will linger into Friday. And then Friday is going to have more pockets of showers. Combined, I think for a few days, there'll be some decent rainfall, but each day is not terribly wet. Friday's probably the wettest.
For now, it's just hot. Heat advisory runs until 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and it comes as drought is expected to persist and possibly expand through this summer. Karen Bumbako is the deputy state climatologist. She says the period from October through May was tied for the third warmest on record for Washington.
And those records go back to 1895. So pretty significant warmth across the whole region for the entire water year so far.
And she says warmer than normal temperatures will continue raising concerns about elevated wildfire risk this summer. An investigation is detailing allegations that a Seattle civil rights leader visited an Alabama strip club during a city-sponsored trip focused on civil rights history. Publicola reports Derek Wheeler-Smith also subjected his subordinates to unwelcome, sexually explicit conduct. Wheeler-Smith is director of Seattle's Office for Civil Rights. He has been on leave since March. We reached out to Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's office for comments. Getting new details today on what Bill Gates told lawmakers earlier this month about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
After Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates tried to end his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender attempted to use compromising information about Gates' extramarital affairs to force his way back into Gates' life, he told the House Oversight Committee earlier this month, according to a transcript of the closed-door testimony released Tuesday. Gates, according to the transcript, said Epstein used an advisor to send him veiled threats, appeared to coach Gates' advisor on how to potentially blackmail him, and mixed fact and fiction to leverage compromising information against the software billionaire. Peter Harlambus, ABC News.
And that takes us to 3:32. We turn to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, we've got a new collision. A disabled vehicle blocking on Tiger Mountain. It's westbound 16, right at the summit, taking up your left lane. About a mile and a half bumper-to-bumper backup. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is at 45 minutes. North end, you're doing pretty good. The south end is heavy from starting at State Route 18. Tacoma to Olympia is wide open this afternoon. Not one thing blocking. South 5 into Seattle, however, is heavy from Lake City Way to the Convention Center. It's a half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton on 405, 35 minutes. You've got a thick backup starting at 520 through Cold Creek Parkway before you start to thin out a bit. Heading north, Bellevue to Linwood at 45 minutes. Scattered backups from Bellevue into Canyon Park. And Everett Marysville struggling this afternoon at 20 minutes. That's double the norm. You've got scattered backups from 526 to 529 at the Snohomish River. It starts to get pretty thick. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And to your forecast now, high clouds this afternoon, but again, temperatures heating up into the mid to upper 80s across the region. Another day in the 80s tomorrow for a big cool down starting on Thursday with some showers on the way. Right now, 84 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. All are welcome. Hello to Kev, Mrs. Bay, and the House of Cats. Well, the Washington Department of Health I don't know why they needed to do this, but they're warning everybody. Just take it easy.
As FIFA fans flock to Seattle, some out-of-town visitors
Watching the football, been to the Mariners game.
are getting a stronger taste of the Emerald City.
I can understand why people would travel here and think they're just going to get regular marijuana and then, have a hard time, end up in the hospital potentially.
Earlier today,
End up in the hospital.
the Washington Department of Health posted this on their Facebook page, saying they've seen an uptick in cannabis-related emergency room visits. The post has since been taken down. DOH told us they
Why they take it down?
don't have the data to back up that claim right now.
They care about data? The Washington Department of Health? The COVID folks? Oh, they were great with the data back then. Yeah, they're like, hospitalizations, they run for the hills.
But several pot shops have told us they're having an uptick in curious visitors, both international and domestic.
It's a lot stronger than a lot of other weed.
Phil King.
Don't tell me. That guy works at a weed shop. Does he?
I don't think so.
No, wait, hold on a second. Hang on a second. Listen to that guy again.
A lot of other weed.
Phil King moved
Stronger than a lot of other weed.
Phil King moved here from Texas a year ago and is very aware of how strong Washington weed can be.
It's
I go back to this guy for another bite.
Like, you'll blow your mind.
When it comes to cannabis in
There you go.
Washington, DOH is reminding tourists wanting to get high to start with a low dose and go slow.
Yeah, I'm sure the tourists are really going to the Washington Department of Health website.
The cookie!
You're damn right, Annie, all of them. All right, so so the THC in U.S. marijuana, by the way, it's legal here. Europe, you still have trouble getting it legally. 22 to 28% THC. Okay, used to be like 4 or 5%. So they just keep jacking up the THC. In Europe, about 11% is what you're going to get. So yeah, it's about double on the thing.
What do you mean used to be?
When they first started, marijuana was like available illegally in the United States. Very, very low.
You mean like in the 70s?
Right, yeah. 80s, where you're sorting it all out, get the sticks and seeds out of there. And
that was garbage. Come on.
With your flipped over Frisbee. The guy licks the baggie before
Shout
he
out
hands
to the
it
naked
you.
mailbox guy.
Why do you got to lick the baggie? Just hand me the stuff. All right, anyway, so it's twice as much for U.S. And then I looked to see how many people in America. So 19 to 22% of us smoke marijuana on a regular basis in America. Europe, it's only 8%. And U.S. doubles the amount of marijuana that they smoke on a regular basis. So, yeah, maybe they get here and they just want to try some, but really going to end up in the hospital.
No.
You can green out. That's a pretty miserable way to spend a couple of hours.
Yeah, but it's usually just you're kind of. My godmother did this, and she was going through cancer, and her daughter said, "Oh, try some edibles; it'll be great." She took a little bit too much, and she just panicked and took herself to the hospital. But she was fine. She just, she was unfamiliar with being too
What
high.
happens? Yeah. My mom called one day. I think I want to try some. Anything my mother was uncomfortable with, she would repeat the last word. I think I want to try some pot. You want some pot, Mom? Yeah. Can you give me some pot? I go, yeah, okay. So I got her some Maui Wowie. So I roll a couple of joints for her, drop it off the house. And she goes, Mrs. Manfield's going to come on. We're going to do some pot together. I was like, all right, good. So I waited. I said, when are they going to smoke? Well, probably around 6 o'clock. And I was like, okay. So I waited till about figured the first couple of hits off that thing, you get really good and high. Yeah. So I waited till about 6:15, 6:20. I call her up. She goes, oh my gosh, we're all laughy and giggly. And I said, Mom, the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to get the munchies. Ooh, what are they? And I said, well, the munchies, because you're going to want to eat something. You're going to get potato chips, pretzels, whatever you have. You can't do that. If you eat any processed food, it'll give you brain damage. What do you mean? I said, don't eat like crackers, cookies, candies, cakes. Don't eat anything like that, or you can have a stroke.
This is like what you did to Rye.
What do you mean?
You're just trying to freak her out.
Yeah. I said you gotta prepare a meal. Oh, okay. So I call back like 20 minutes later. She's like, I don't care. I'm trying to defrost this pot roast, and I don't have time to wait. And I go, Mom, Defrost. Put the pot roast in the microwave. Defrost it. You've got to eat prepared meat or fish or something. You can't have any. So I got a can of tuna fish. I was like, that'll be good. That tuna fish will work, but you can't have mayonnaise. Well, I can't have mayonnaise. Like, you're going to get a brain tumor, Mom. I mean, I just freaked her out.
Yeah, probably ruined it for her. She
Oh, I
probably
did.
never did it again.
Oh, Oh, no, she did it again.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. Because then Mrs. Mansfield called her daughter, and she said, oh, Mom, those are the munchies. You can eat whatever you want. And they're eating cupcakes and everything else. Yeah, then Mom was like, I like this stuff. By the way, she joins all the other people. This is a Florida physician says this is good for you.
Cannabis therapy can help reduce age-related changes in the brain. We do have evidence that cannabis can protect the nerve cells, also called neurons, from dying off. It does this by acting as an
Is he playing like the keyboard while he's talking to us?
antioxidant and reducing what we call excitotoxicity. As we age, certain cells in our body die off. And in the nervous system, they often die off because of oxidative damage and excitotoxicity.
Yeah, okay.
Cannabis reduces both. It actually works better than the prescription medications now available. So, as a neurologist, I can tell you that I have used conventional therapies to reduce those aging processes.
Yeah,
and those particular therapies do not work all that well. I use cannabis now to help my patients reduce age-related changes in the nervous system.
He was so busy with his practice, he could only talk to us from the bathroom.
That was just audio to support the story, which I'm sure you didn't read. But it is. There are.
I've heard this stuff before.
Okay.
But you have to admit, there's a certain point where it kills your initiative. You just kind of baked all day long, wake and bake.
Well,
or anybody that works in one of those pot stores is always like, yeah, I have cooking for you today. Just generally, just totally relaxed.
Well, this specific study is for middle age and older. So they're saying as soon as you kind of hit middle age, it can actually protect your brain cells from
What's
dying.
middle aged?
I don't know, 55.
Careful.
Something.
Okay, that's me.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
So you're doing yourself a favor.
I am.
Fending off that Alzheimer's.
That's exactly what's going on.
Serious.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. You notice that I'm sharper than ever?
You really are.
Yeah.
I credit the weed.
Okay, fine. Nate comes by. Let's see. Your brain has never designed? Oh, we'll go back into that one. I'm just looking ahead there, Nate, getting ready for the next segment.
Yeah, I understand.
But just do some traffic.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Take your time. There
All
you go.
right. Tiger Mountain, westbound 16 at the summit. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking your left lane, closing in on 2-mile bumper-to-bumper backup as you head up the summit. South 5 into Seattle is solid from Ravenna down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a half-hour commute. North 5, now we're getting pretty packed there at the West Seattle Bridge to the Columbian Tower, and then things open up for you. Both of our lake bridges are clear. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is going to take you a half hour. It's slow from 520 to the VMAC, but it is bumper-to-bumper until you get through Factoria. Bellevue to Linwood, heading north, 45 minutes. Scattered backups from Bellevue into Canyon Park. Seattle to Linwood, in comparison, just a half hour, but it is crowded from Lake City Way all the way up into Mill Creek, but you're still close to the speed limit through most of this. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Guess who's back at the barn in Cle Elum? It's Closets by Design. They did a whole bunch of work in the laundry room, and then they went into Rye's room. They put closets in there. I think they got more stuff to do, and Nick loves it because she just walks in. She goes, okay, here's what I want. I need some more storage. And they're like, yep, got it. Totally customized. The two guys that have been working there, every piece they're cutting to make sure it fits right into place. And it's amazing that all the wood matches the wood on the floor. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. We got so much more storage, and things to just have a place for everything because now everything's functioning correctly. Think about your pantry that you've got. You can't find anything in there because it's just not set up right. People, when they're building homes, you don't really put that much effort, the builders don't, into the storage. They kind of give you the crappy wire closet, so you have to come in and do something. And if you really want to make sure that the house functions correctly for all of your storage and everything has its place, that's where Closets by Design come in. Totally customized without the customized price, 40% off, plus an additional 15% off an 18-month, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. That's Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
I haven't talked to Joe since he had his big World Cup experience on Friday.
Right.
For Saturday and Friday, yeah. Was it everything you thought it would be?
And more.
Oh, really? What was the and more part?
You know what? It was just there were so many people down there. We went down early. We'll talk about this a little bit later. With
Yes,
Aaron,
of
too.
course. Yes, yes.
But we went down at like 10 a.m., I believe, down to Pioneer Square, and it was just packed. I mean, there must have been 5,000 people in Pioneer Square alone. Not including the people that actually went in the stadium to watch the game.
Yeah.
We walked all the way through up the waterfront to the new waterfront area. Same thing. There must have been at least, 5,000 or 6,000 people packed in there. Every square inch was covered. It was a little hard to even get around, but it was awesome. It was obviously a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Perfect Seattle day weather-wise. We went back through downtown, went to like every viewing area you could find.
Were there accents of voices from around the world?
There were some,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. But, it was perfect. And there was no trouble anywhere. It was
That's
just
right.
everybody in all the restaurants were full. All the bars were full. Everybody's chanting USA everywhere. Every time anything happened on the pitch that was good. So it was awesome.
Look at you slipping the word pitch in there. Good for
No,
you.
no.
I looked up to see how often when the World Cup comes to some place to is crime go up or down, it drops in every category. Murder, shootings, break-ins, robberies. The only robbery where there's an increase was what they charged for a beer or a soft pretzel there at the in the stadium. That's a robbery. No, not now. No. What I have to ask for is not as funny. Thank you. So that is the good news. And only if two teams have fans that normally hate each other, like it happened in New York City. I think Midtown was at Argentina and Algeria. The fans were going at it. They kind of big scuffle broke out, screaming and yelling. Australia and the United States, the team had a couple of just a little bit of bad blood between them. Just a little bit of sort of pregame, words. But the fans don't go at it the way they do some of those other football teams, especially in the UK. So,
oh man, if we end up playing, there's a chance that the USA plays England in Philadelphia.
Oh wow!
In one of the later rounds. I can imagine that'll get a little surly.
Does it matter? I mean, so they each advance with every victory.
At this point, yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. I didn't get a chance to go down there. I was busy hanging out with Ryan Lake Chelan. Sorry about that. Is it? Oh, then we have 2 more games. It's coming up, I think, Friday or Saturday.
Friday we got a game.
That's right. We've been able to plan it. The Pride Parade celebrations. The Pride celebrations are going on at the exact same time that Iran and Egypt are going to be playing.
That's right.
And which is an interesting sort of twist for the people that always love to celebrate multiculturalism and that all cultures are great. Except for America. And we should celebrate everybody's culture. But then when these folks come in from some other country where they're not so big on the LGBTQ stuff, then you're like, well, I thought we were supposed to celebrate every culture. Yeah, well, we are, but we can't because we don't, because we will. So Egypt and Iran are basically saying there should be zero pride stuff. No flags, no nothing. Which is a moral quandary for the people that have always advocated for, every culture is wonderful, and who are we to judge other cultures? Well, I guess if you were gay and they grabbed you by your belt loop and threw you off a roof, you could be judging them on your way down. So, have they decided on what they're doing with that yet?
I don't know.
Well, let's get on it. We're a news organization, for crying out loud, fellas. Go out there and get the story and bring it back. See?
All right, Shea.
All right, there's Shea. All right.
Tape.
Here comes Nate, check traffic, Nathan.
All right, Federal Way, Norfolk. What is that?
Oh, that was us checking through the teletype there.
Oh, gotcha.
Hang on there.
Okay, North 5 and Federal Way, just past State Route 18. 2 right lanes are blocked from a car fire. You're backed up to Porter Avenue there in Fife. South 5 slows from 272nd to the scene. Seattle to Federal Way up to a 40-minute drive. Up in Tiger Mountain, we cleared our disabled vehicle westbound 18 at the summit. We're backed up to Deep Creek still. Renton to Puyallup, 45 minutes on the Valley Freeway. Getting crowded through Renton, and then we're stop and go from Algona into Puyallup. South 5 in Seattle, solid from Lake City Way to I-90. It's a half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Northbound I-5, you're bumper to bumper at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. And Everett to Marysville, we're continuing to climb. Just over a 20-minute commute now. It is solid from 526 to 529. At the Snohomish River, it gets real thick. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. I got to tell you something. If you've got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, you've got some problems with those joints, and that's, I just can't play tennis anymore, golf is gone, or I can't go hiking or ride a bike, can't run anymore. The knees are just shot. If you ever had to say that, or mentioned bone on bone, then you know what? I got a guy for you. You want to go see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports of Regenerative Medicine. I saw him probably 4 or 5 months ago, I guess it was. Had my hip worked on with a stem cell procedure, and it's been amazing. And the same results could be for you as well. Dr. Wagner, who's been a practicing physician for more than 30 years, has done 20,000 stem cell procedures. It is easy. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. And if your shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee have been bugging you and you're thinking about getting surgery, hold on there, Nelly. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner. Get your MRI and your x-rays together and go see him and find out if a stem cell procedure is right for you. It was for me and for countless others that have seen Dr. Mark Wagner with their bad elbow, shoulder, wrists, knees. They get fixed with a stem cell procedure with you and Dr. Mark Wagner. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?
Oh, yeah, at least $2,000 a year.
What?
At least.
Wow. You ever feel like, man, I wish I would have taken that First Mark Challenge earlier?
Yes. I mean, $2,000 I could have saved a year, over probably 4 or 5 years. Wow.
How would you describe their customer service?
Fantastic. Beyond expectation. Call First Mark. They treat you like a real person, that they have your best interest in mind.
Norm did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you like they did Norm, and how much better your coverage will get to. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic, search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The Republican-controlled Senate hands President Trump a rare rebuke, voting to deny him war powers for Iran. The resolution passing on the 10th try. Mitch McConnell not present because of a hospitalization. The White House says the resolution means nothing because there are no hostilities presently. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal says the Trump deal is good for Iran.
The frozen assets that now will be released to the Iranians to be used as they wish, not to buy American agricultural products.
The administration can continue to remove information from National Park Service sites that it says improperly disparaged Americans past or living. Federal Appeals Court now pausing a lower court ruling that required the exhibits to be restored by the 4th of July. The first player to score in 6 different World Cup tournaments with a goal today, Cristiano Ronaldo. This is ABC News. Word of Epstein's revenge.
After Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates tried to end his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender attempted to use compromising information about Gates' extramarital affairs to force his way back into Gates' life, he told the House Oversight Committee earlier this month, according to a transcript of the closed-door testimony released Tuesday. Gates, according to the transcript, said Epstein used an advisor to send him veiled threats, appeared to coach Gates' advisor on how to potentially blackmail him, and mixed fact and fiction to leverage compromising information against the software billionaire. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
A dreadlocked Rastafarian cannot sue the Louisiana prison guards who cut his hair. The Supreme Court says federal law protecting religious rights does not permit inmates to sue for damages. ESPN is reporting that the NHL is looking at Houston and Austin for possible expansion to Texas. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Coming up, a devastating loss for the local Jewish community. It's after Nate Connors at the Real Time Traffic Desk.
This one's brought to us by Global Credit Union of Federal Way, North 5, just past State Route 18. 2 right lanes are blocked by a car fire. This spread to the brush, so we've got a little bit of a brush fire as well. So you're backed up approaching Wild Waves. Tacoma to Federal Way right now is a 10-minute delay. South 5 slows from the Boeing Access Road all the way to the scene of this car fire. Seattle to Federal Way is inched up a bit to 45 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, also a 45-minute commute. Again, we've got building volumes through Renton. You're still at a pretty good pace here, but we're stop and go from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is 35 minutes. You're heavy from 520 to the VMAC. South 5 into Seattle. Bumper to bumper now coming out of Northgate down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 40-minute trip. In North 5, you're jam-packed at the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. An early morning fire damaged a Jewish funeral home in Seattle's Seward Park neighborhood. As KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us, the facility is crucial for the Jewish community all over Washington.
Investigators say the fire that caused extensive damage to the facility on South Holly Street started about 4 Tuesday morning in an unattached garage, then spread quickly to a nearby home. The facility handles about 90% of Jewish burials in Washington state. R.A. Hoffman is the synagogue's former president.
This is something that has to be dealt with immediately, and that's why we're working on it so frantically. We don't postpone funerals. We don't embalm bodies. We get them buried right away.
Families needing services should contact the synagogue directly. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. is easing its restrictions on Iran's World Cup team, allowing the squad to travel into the country tomorrow, 2 days before its next match in Seattle.
The team will still be required to leave after Friday's match here in Seattle, according to the Department of Homeland Security. The team's base camp is in Tijuana, Mexico. Iran's squad had complained about the travel restrictions levied on the team and the challenges the team has faced since the outbreak of the war. For the first 2 matches in Los Angeles, the team was not allowed to travel until the day before. The team's base camp was relocated from Tucson, Arizona to Mexico. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
And Egypt's national team will also get some time in Seattle before Friday's match. The Seattle Times reports they'll be holding a training session here Wednesday nights. They were denied a longer stay by security officials. An $8.2 million winning lottery ticket sold in Bellingham could soon expire. Washington's lottery says the prize must be claimed by July 30th or it is gone. 2 other big wins are also unclaimed and will expire at the end of July. The Hit 5 tickets were sold in Seattle and Tulalip, each worth about $100,000. If they're not turned in, the funds will go toward education programs across the states. To your forecast now, we are hot this afternoon. A heat advisory continuing into tomorrow night with highs each day in the upper 80s. We're looking at 91 in Olympia right now, 87 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
When it comes to gas is kind of like makeup. You know, less is more. When you buy less, you use less, and you save more.
Wow, there we go. Geez, I guess we don't need to talk to Jay Young. Let's say it. Dive in. All right. Everybody talking about the cost of gas in the state of Washington. We are an outlier, but Jay Young knows a thing or two. Jay, I just downloaded your book. I'm going to listen to it. The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. How the new model works and why it puts the traditional model to shame. Jay Young, are you going to tell me that I should start investing in oil?
Well, you're either going to do that or you're going to pay more at the pump, which you're going to pay more at the pump either way. So you might as well offset some of that offset with some, I mean, you get good tax benefits. You get
here we go.
Oil and gas. I mean, man, we got to go. I mean, this is unbelievable. What a great opportunity.
It's funny. I heard you being interviewed by some news anchor, and she starts complaining. You go, yeah, well, why don't you just start investing in oil? I want to run through the numbers with you, Jay. And I have to warn you, I have been watching Landman, so I have. Why the uh-oh?
No, it's good. I'm glad you have.
Okay.
It's a great program.
Let's start from the.
I'm glad you're in the know.
Let's start from the very big. The big thing is where the price is, who's making money, who's not making money, the cost of having to get in there and drill and then get it to market. From the very beginning, the world needs, I think it was like 100 million barrels a day of oil. Is that what the world demands?
Yes.
Okay.
World demand daily 100 million barrels.
And we need about 20 million. Is that about right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so it's coming from, I think, 3 primary sources, OPEC, and that started breaking up a little bit. Iran, of course, Venezuela's not doing much for us, right? And the United States has some oil production. We need to get more in there. What do you think happens right now, Jay Young, with what's happening in Iran?
Yeah, it's a good question. We've had a shortage of oil here lately around the world because we're just not simply producing as much oil as we were before February 28th. When they were producing so much oil and they couldn't get it through, they started shutting wells in the Persian Gulf. And so the production went down to 85 million a day. And what happens was there's a huge shortage. And so they started taking out all of their strategic reserves because we're not just the only country that has them. Everybody has strategic reserves. So they started taking some of theirs out. And all of a sudden, this latest surprise, I was reading an article. And I'll read this article. Why oil hasn't gone through the roof. And it's kind of funny because it really comes back to some good points, but it also is June 13th, June 14th, and it says, down there on the bottom, it says, Iran and U.S. are close to making a deal. I mean, we've not heard that for I don't know how long here. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of times that we've thought we're close to a deal. But we need 20 million barrels a day in the United States. This is the big thing. What about us? What about the United States? We need 20 million. We're producing 13. We're producing 13. So we're getting 3 or 4 million barrels a day out of Canada. We're getting some out of Mexico.
Yeah.
A little bit of Iran, OPEC oil, coming this way. But I tell you, we're doing very well on the production, but it's not going to happen. We're shutting wells down here, rigs down here in the United States. So, and it's been all over the world. So we're not producing the amount of oil that we need around the world or in the United States. We have like 25 less rigs drilling for oil this year compared to last year, and we're way above break-even points, here in the United States right now.
Jay, it's a fascinating mathematical equation that needs to be done in that if the price drops too low, then it's not worth drilling. What is it, about 9 to 10 million to put the rig in to get it going? And if it's too low, then it doesn't work. If it's too high, then everybody gets in and you could overproduce, but then also there's a drag on the economy. So the sweet spot, according to Billy Bob Thornton, the sweet spot, Jay Young, is somewhere in about, he says that 73 to 84 bucks we're all making money, right? That it has to stay at that number for have the economy moving along and everybody wanting to produce the product. So how do you keep that balance in place? And are we as hamstrung by OPEC as we used to be?
We won't be for long because they're not going to have the production necessary. And of course, the UAE pulls out of OPEC.
Right.
They got 4 million barrels a day that they could give us, which is good news. And we're allies with them, which is good. But yeah, I mean, you want to keep prices between 65, 85 in that level. You don't want to overproduce because then prices just go down, and it's like, banks call for notes, and it's just Armageddon in the oil and gas industry. Clients are mad because they're seeing their capital that's outlaid. You're putting in 10 million a well, like you said. You're producing so much oil, but you're not making any money because it's like you're putting out 10 million. You're only making back 10 million over 5 years. Why would you want to put money out? Just keep it in the bank. So you want to make a profit, and that's what I wrote the book, In the Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. A lot of good stuff in there to talk about, not only the tax breaks, but why do we need $78 a barrel, and why is that a good price? Because then you could drill a $10 million well, and you can make $15 to $25 million off that. If prices go down too far, you're not making as much money. You're making less money, and it's not worth it. And that's what I'm surprised right now, that rig counts stayed steady. It hasn't gone up a lot because we saw $100 oil. We saw a little bit higher than that, and it's staying around the $70, $80. But there's so many countries and that are coming back in right now that everybody feels like that oil could go down. And I agree, it could go down a little bit more at this point. But when the numbers get in the summertime, when we need summertime oil, when people are driving for vacations and we go into end of the year, we're not going to have the numbers that we had before. We're not going to have 20 million barrels or 13 million barrels. We're going to have a lot less than 13 million barrels of oil in the United States. It's going to push prices higher because we are the biggest consumer of oil in the world, and we need oil. And if we don't have it, just like everywhere else, the price is going to go up.
There's about
we're going to pay more at the pump.
Jay Young, there's about 6,000 products that are made of oil. And people don't realize that. It's just not in the car. It's everything. It's plastics and everything else. And it's not like a normal production of a product where, as Jeff Bezos liked to say, that your margins are my opportunity, right? Because everybody is working in the same restrictions. So because people, well, that's not fair. That's collusion. The oil market is colluding as to how much oil they're releasing. But everybody is dealing with the same fixed cost of one to get into the ground, to get it up out of the ground, then they get it out. There's spot pricing it, who's got contracts on the thing. And then finally, when it gets refined and everything goes into somebody's tank where they're able to use it, everybody has those constraints on this. So you can't flood the market with the oil because then the price goes down and then you can't meet your cost, right? Is that basically how the math works?
Exactly. And it's supply and demand. the reason why prices go up and down is economics 101, supply and demand. And then also, too, if you have an oversupply and all of a sudden, it's like when OPEC, flooded our markets right before COVID. This is, talking about Armageddon. They flooded our markets with oil right before COVID because they wanted to see the price come down because they were afraid that if it came up too much, that our shell drillers out in Permian Basin, Eagle Ford, Bakken, they were going to take and just contribute, just start controlling the market so much. So they thought, okay, well, the only way to get these U.S. drillers out of the field and quit drilling is to oversupply the markets. So they oversupplied the markets, and our demand went to almost zero during COVID. Nobody's doing anything, and all of a sudden the price went negative. Literally went negative.
Negative
for a while. It was crazy to see. We have statements with oil, like 20 different loads on a statement, and to see we got plus. Then you see minuses because we were paying them all for taking our oil. It was just that we've ever seen before. It was just really, really crazy. My great grandfather and my grandfather and all them was just literally could not believe that the price could go negative.
Yeah,
for a barrel of oil is just crazy.
That must have put some gray hairs in your head. Is that also like being part owner or minority owner of the Texas Rangers?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tell you what, there's some gray hairs definitely for sure, and some excitement, a lot of excitement, and a lot of good stories. I don't have as many good stories as all the baseball players. Baseball players have incredible stories, and you can listen to them all night long. They just have one after the other. I had Elvis Andrus on my podcast not long ago. He was a famous shortstop for the Texas Rangers, the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Nolan Ryan and Reed Ryan and those kind of guys are just incredible guys to talk to, and the great stories that they have is just one after another.
Jay Young, how do we fix this? There's nothing we can do. We still have the demand for it. We haven't gotten into multiple fuel sources. Probably won't be for a long time. So how about we could get Colorado and California to start to produce, and Venezuela would be another place that we could also production of oil. Do you think politically that the winds are always going to be blowing in the opposite direction of production in the United States and in Alaska?
Well, unless demand comes down and you do find some other alternative for these products, I don't see demand coming down soon. It could. Crazier things have happened, right? But if it does come down some and we do get some help, Venezuela's great, and they can get to 3 million barrels, 3.5 million barrels. We're to deficit about 7 million barrels right now, and I think it's about 8, but it's about 7 to 8 million barrels. Canada has a lot of good oil, and it's an ally, right? It's not. Yeah. They're not trying to kill us. They're trying to work with us. Mexico, another good ally, and if we have Venezuela, if you open up some of the Alaska places, there's some great places drilled in Alaska, which Trump is opening that up. It'll take several years to get that going, but you're right. If we have Colorado and we could literally go on our own and not have to worry about foreign oil, unless we didn't. And if we didn't and we wanted some foreign oil because we needed it, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
It's right now we're kind of in a consortium with all the OPEC countries and UAEs and the OPEC Plus to get oil, and it's been a very good relationship until Iran starts talking about nuclear, and then all of a sudden it's happened over the past few months, unfortunately. But it'd be great if we could get back there and have world peace, just like everybody prayed growing up.
We all wanted, as John Lennon said. Joe Wallace, my producer, raised his hand. Joe, what do you want to? Jay?
Yeah, Jay, I started getting a story sent to me a few weeks ago and they sounded a little bit paranoid, but they were saying essentially that on the West Coast especially, we were in a situation where we were 4 weeks away from having a major, massive oil crisis based on reserves being unavailable at that point. And I didn't think much of them, but then President Trump said this at the G7 summit just last week.
Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam?
How close were we? And this peace deal coming kind of out of nowhere and giving a lot of concessions to Iran would say something, I think. How close were we to bedlam, as Trump described it?
Yeah, and I think we were really close. I mean, a week or 2 weeks away is my best guess. I've talked to some other guys about it, and they feel the same way. I mean, and I think that Trump, you talk about a Hail Mary. The Hail Mary pass back Drew Pearson, Roger Staubach days. I mean, it's incredible. And I think that's what Trump did. And he's been extremely lucky at this point, knock on wood, that we have allowed some, oil to flow through the Strait of Hormuz. And they say they're starting to open up some Persian Gulf wells. They're not all going to come back on at 100%.
Yeah.
They're not like faucets, but the good news is that we are making strides in it. It's not going to go to 150. I do believe prices are going to stay with the Billy Bob story, the $78 a barrel. I believe we're going to stay up. We're not going to go to $55 a barrel like Trump said, but that's wishful thinking. We're going to stay above 70 overall. I mean, Let's say we go down a little bit, okay. Then, but by the end of the summer, going into the end of the year, we're going to be back at the $70, $80 mark, and which is great for producers. It's great for countries that produce.
Hey Jay, I was thinking of buying an electric car. Should I get an electric car?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I don't know where you're going to do with the batteries and charging and.
Oh, here we go. Here comes an oil guy.
I know, but I tell you what, they've got to be making them better now. I mean, I saw something the other day. They said the trucks are getting a lot better.
Okay.
So I would buy an electric truck. No, I'm not going to buy one, but I'm just saying that maybe it'd be a good idea if because they're getting better, and they did not do very well in the very beginning or the first round, but I think now they're going to be better.
Coming back. Okay. Should I buy some more Suncor?
Yeah, I do. I would. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're bullish on everything, Jay Young.
Man, I'm an optimistic guy. I think you should definitely read the Wall Street Journal and definitely learn about what's going on with the oil markets, and also read that book, The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. That's a good read. That's the book of the week. That's the book of the week.
Book of the week. Jay Young is the man to speak to with your Jay Young show there on YouTube, and the book, which I have just downloaded and see if it is the book of the week. Thanks for giving us some insight, and next time I see Billy Bob, I'll be thinking about you. Thanks, Jay Young.
Hey, there you go. Thank you very much. Have me on anytime, guys.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you, Jay.
y'all.
There he goes. Out the door. All right. Does it make everybody feel a little better?
Yeah, I think so. Although the 2 weeks from Bedlam.
It's not happening, though, Joe. Relax. It's not Bedlam.
Not today, but these things seem to change every couple of hours.
You know what? Just you look on the bright side.
All right.
Okay, whatever that means. Okay, here comes Nate Checker driving Nathan.
All right, Federal Way, we're still dealing with our car fire, North 5, just past State Route 18. We've opened up a lane, so it's just blocking the right lane now. Fire crews have left the scene, so obviously we've got the upper hand here. But you're backed up to the Fife Curve. Tacoma to Federal Way has a 15-minute delay, taking you a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way up to 40, or down rather to 40 minutes, down from 45. So we're slowly improving, and you're slow from the Boeing Access Road to South 260th. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. It's heavy from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then from there you're going to start to thin out. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 15-minute commute. We've got a solid backup starting in mid-Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange, and then you're going to join the northbound I-5 backup. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow from the U-District into Mill Creek. South 5 into Seattle, we're bumper to bumper at Lake City Way to I-90. 35 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. And southbound 99, you're bumper to bumper from the Aurora Bridge into the downtown tunnel. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. I tell you something, the best thing you can do if you're over the age of 50 and you don't want to wear glasses and contacts anymore, concerned about a cataract, have you considered RLE, refractive lens exchange? Now, you might go online. You find there's a bunch of different doctors that do it. I'm going to recommend K2 Vision. Why? Well, from a first impression, when I went in there, I met Dr. Kopstein, and I told him, I want to get this because my eyes are bad. He said, listen, let's just wait and see. Let me see what your eyes look like because I might tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. Immediately, that told me this guy's not just in there just trying to make some money. He really cares. He wants to do a best job he possibly can, and he wants to make sure the eyes are going to be perfect for this. And it just turns out that mine were in bad shape. Every year I had to get another prescription. So he says, yeah, we can do this. 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the other. Went back in the next day, and 20/20 vision. Still have 20/20 vision. I was even showing off, saying, can I read the bottom line? The great thing about it is Dr. Kopstein and the rest of the doctors over there at K2 Vision have done more than 100,000, 150,000 of these procedures. They know exactly what they're doing. You get the best care. If you don't want to wear readers, glasses, or contacts anymore, K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it. Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net. Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We have got some weather whiplash this week. After this current heat wave we're under, a big cool down is developing. As we hear from KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard.
From the low 80s to the upper 60s. And 64 Friday, 63 Saturday. Friday, what you'll see is some increasing showers Thursday evening, and so there'll be scattered showers and breezy weather on Friday, and then scattered showers Saturday. Not super wet Saturday, but still showers around.
In the meantime, Western Washington is slipping deeper into drought conditions. Even with a wet December, warmer temperatures led to reduced snowpack statewide, and it melted weeks early. Daniel Hartsock is with the National Weather Service.
Drought is expected to persist with more widespread drought development likely, especially across pretty much all of Western Washington.
Officials say wildfire risks will be above normal across the region in both July and August. A Kansas man is suspected of sexually assaulting a woman today on a flight from Hawaii to Seattle.
The 31-year-old was arrested Tuesday morning at SeaTac Airport when the flight from Kona landed. According to federal prosecutors, he reached down to touch the thigh of the 27-year-old woman next to him as she tried to sleep. She immediately hit the flight attendant call button and was moved to a different seat. Abusive sexual contact aboard an aircraft can get a person 2 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Federal judge in Tacoma has sentenced a Nigerian national to 5 years in prison for an online romance scam. 42-year-old Franklin Nabadialo stole $3.5 million from 8 victims over 15 years. He posed as a military man on dating sites targeting older and widowed individuals, convincing them to drain their life savings. One victim lost her home. Judge called the crime devastating, saying it ruined lives. And Washington State Patrol says a trooper clocked a Tesla speeding down southbound I-5 and Federal Way this morning, with the driver asleep at the wheel. Trooper Rick Johnson says she was using autopilot.
This Tesla passed him at 78 and a 60, and he was able to observe that the female driver was asleep.
Trooper stopped that car near South 272nd. The driver was cited for negligent driving. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to you by Seattle Sports and Federal Way. North 5 just past State Route 18. Your right lane remains blocked from this earlier car fire. Now, a tow is hooking up that car, and we should have this lane open momentarily. Meanwhile, you're sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at the Fife Curve. Tacoma to Federal Way is at 35 minutes, a 20-minute delay. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. We're slow from the Boeing Access Road to South 260th. Tacoma to Olympia looking great at 35 minutes. This commute has received some much-needed relief through JBLM with the opening of some new HOV lanes this week, so this has improved this route big time. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. You're heavy from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 15 this afternoon. We're solid from mid-Bellevue into Alderwood, and then you'll join the North 5 backup. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow from the U District into Mill Creek, and South 5 is bumper-to-bumper from Lake City Way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 35 minutes. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
At mid to upper 80s across the map right now, 91 currently in Olympia. One more hot day tomorrow, and then a cool down develops on Thursday with some showers on Friday. Currently 88 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
As the world watches Seattle, KIRO 7 News will take you beyond the matches. Live team coverage inside the best fan experiences, unique local stories, and the lasting impact of the games for our community. Connect to the Cup. Watch live in every newscast only on KIRO 7 TV.
Well said, well read. Bucky's Auto Service Center. 16 locations. Been around for 51 years. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Bucky's.
Your timing was off, but that could have been good. The song was right.
Sorry, I'm busy. I'm getting ready. Oh, Aaron left.
Oh, Aaron.
We need Aaron to come back in again. Still talking Mariners.
It's all right. We have a special twist. I did tell him to hang out, though.
Rye writes, with plenty of firepower, Midland results, do you think the Mariners should try to pick up someone at the deadline or just trust the process and hope the wins start coming more consistently? That's the question that Rye had for Aaron.
Oh.
And Aaron is not here. Well, I bet Aaron would say, well, a couple of guys, and he would name a bunch of people that he thinks we should pick up, and then I would have no idea who he's talking about. And then I'd just turn over and we go to Jacob. Now, for those people that have been following the show for with any regularity, and it's good to be regular, I just said it right away.
Good call.
Jacob, I think a couple of years ago, wanted to try his hand because I said, listen, follow your passion. If it's growing facial hair, do that. But follow your passion. If you love baseball and you get a chance to do some play-by-play here on KIRO Radio, a lot of people have been discovered here at KIRO Radio. And I said, you never know who might hear it. And next thing you know, you could be off and running to the minors, majors, wherever it is.
Plenty I should correct there in that detailing of events. I am fairly confident I had no interest in doing play-by-play, and the responsibility was foisted upon me.
As we talk a little bit of baseball, and I think was it 2 years ago?
It was 2022. It was 4 years ago.
2022. Wow, time flies. So you said, hey, give me a chance. Just let me come on there. I've been studying the game. And let's take you back. So 2022, here we go, 4 years ago. This is, you're doing your best. Here we go.
The score, oh, wow. Okay, the music goes away. The score is still 2-3. The Astros are batting. And it's the guy, I think his name is Munoz. He's pitching again. Saw him yesterday. And he's done 6 of them. Just through a 6th pitch that he's done. And it's the 8th inning. That's what I know. It's really good.
There we go. You were nervous. It wasn't fair. We caught you off guard because he has 6 of those.
I presume in 2022 it was an important game of some sort, and so we wanted to update the listeners, but I don't know that they appreciated very much
I have
my
a question.
relaying. Yeah.
When you said 6 of those, did you mean innings pitched or?
He had pitched 6. He had thrown 6 pitches. At
I
that
see.
point.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
That was I was just looking at the screen and saying what I saw, and they tell you how many pitches. They have a pitch count up.
Well, we found out recently.
It was also unfair because you couldn't hear any gnat sound. You couldn't hear the crowd,
yeah.
just you in the studio. I think you could hear the sound of the dripping, which is the sweat
that does help,
coming
yeah.
off your forehead. Yes. Yeah, what was that, show?
Well, we found out recently that Jacob has discovered radio broadcasts,
Yes.
and he listens to the Mariners with some sort of regularity.
Yeah, it was last season. I was getting back into running, and I was running in the evenings, and I was throwing the baseball games on, and I just found it a very pleasant, slow-paced, kind of rhythmic thing to
Much
to
like
have
you're
on.
running?
That's right. Well, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to get too worked up. I'll tire myself out. So, I kind of got into a routine with it, and then it just so happened to be a year that they obviously went as far as they ever have, and got pretty invested in the team, and now I'm sticking with them this year as well. So I'm much more knowledgeable than I certainly was.
Well, let's give it a chance. Here we go. Play some music here. Let's get into it. This is Mariners Day in Pittsburgh. Mariners reminding you, Beacon Plumbing. Of course, Beacon Plumbing, the ones to call for any of your clogs or anything having to do with the toilets. It's Beacon Plumbing. Mariners in Pittsburgh. Jacob, what do you see?
I see. So, okay, I have to start immediately with the caveat, which is that I do know the Mariners players pretty well. I have no idea what's going on with any other team, unfortunately. So I can't even tell you this batter's first name. He just struck out. George Kirby struck him out. The back of his shirt says Ozuna. I should let people know what the score is. The score is Padres 2 and the Mariners 1. Is that no? Sorry, thank you. It's the Pirates.
That's the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Don't forget Beacon Plumbing. Reminding you, Beacon Plumbing, the ones you call when you draw this or anything else. It's Beacon Plumbing. Jacob.
That's right. George Kirby, he's thrown 46 pitches in the bottom of the fourth, which is not bad. That's pretty much on pace for what you want to see at this point. They're showing us images of Edgar Martinez, who is in the dugout. He's wearing sunglasses. This is the one thing I will say. I like. My favorite broadcaster is Gary Hill, and he always describes what everybody is wearing, which I will describe to you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Joe is handing me, so now I can see where the pitches are going.
Who's it bat?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
This portion brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. Beacon Plumbing, reminding you toilets. It's Beacon Plumbing. It's Jacob? Well, it's Pittsburgh taking on the Mariners.
I'll continue telling you what's going on in the field while also telling you that my mouth is very dry. George Kirby just struck another batter out. His name is something that starts with J, and his last name is Magnum.
I feel like I'm there.
George Kirby bringing the heat, as they say. Yeah, struck out 2 batters this inning. That's excellent work. I have no idea what's happened in the game up to this point, except for the score. George Kirby throws a ball. The count. Sorry, that was a strike. The count is 0-2, 0-1.
Wow. Imagine if you were listening to this while you were running. Brought to you by Beacon Plumbing.
There's 2 outs. There's 2 outs in this inning. Kirby certainly is hoping to get another one, and then
he's hoping for that.
That means that would be 3 up and 3 down. He's got 2 strikes, so he's got a good shot at it. If he gets another strikeout, that would be striking out the side, which would be certainly very impressive. Unfortunately, he throws the ball upstairs.
What's nice about baseball is the pace of you listen to the announcers.
Yeah,
they just let it breathe a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of a bit more of a kind of a slower pace to the outside. It's not like, and now you're seeing they're showing you an image of somebody with sunglasses on.
I will say, so I was trying to listen to the World Cup USA game, and there's another radio station that is carrying it, but all they're carrying is the Fox Sports broadcast. It's not radio broadcasters. It genuinely is mostly dead air because soccer, those TV broadcasters are just letting the passes happen. They're not describing them. It was infuriating. I was very bothered by it. So perhaps I'm reacting to that. But no, you're right. You can't leave a little bit more space than I'm leaving.
That's why Vince Kelly could just talk about other things for a while. The pace of what you were doing, the moments. You have it?
You want the play-by-play of the game?
Yeah, here it is. Yes. Yeah, here's the pros with the sound.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
By the way, he walked
the pitch.
Here we go.
Unfortunately.
Swung on, chop just wide of first base foul.
Oh, this is the real deal. This is what's happening. Yeah.
So 0-2.
It's been interesting because we've seen, of course, Logan Gilbert all of a sudden really go to the fastball, the 4-seam, and that was working very well for him his last couple of outings. Bryce Miller can go. He can up the 4-seam usage at any time as well and have success. George is the pitcher they feel the best about. If he wants to throw everything, throw everything.
Well, that's not fair. They got 2.
Yeah, that's
Well, that would have been my job.
Yeah, I didn't leave him any space in your defense.
Talk about Kirby wanting to finish him off. Jeez, I couldn't get in the middle
now
of it.
You know the rest of the story.
Goodness.
I definitely heard improvement.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well,
really has.
Give me another 4 years. We'll see. We'll check in again.
Don't forget, follow your passions. Follow your passion. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. All right, here comes Nate following his passion with your traffic. Nate.
Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. We're all clear North 5, just past State Route 18 and Federal Way, the scene of our earlier car fire that had 2 lanes blocked for a while. That's why you are in a bumper-to-bumper backup from the Fife Curve Tacoma to Federal Way, just under a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we've improved a few minutes. We're at 40 minutes. Still crowded from Renton into Canton, then stop and go from State Route 18 into Sumner. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. We're solid from Bellevue all the way to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett, a 15-minute commute. You're slow from Northgate into Mill Creek. South 5, we're solid from Lake City Way to I-90, 35-minute commute from Linwood. And Everett to Marysville, still at 20 minutes. Stop and go volumes from 526 all the way to 528 heading into Marysville. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has given the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door, plus 12 months free financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
It's summertime, time to get active. But if you're thinking, I can't go water skiing. I just can't play tennis or golf. The hip's bad, the shoulder's bad, got this bad elbow. Just making excuses, and you think, well, it's just the way it's going to be for the rest of my life because just can't fix it. I don't want to get surgery. Well, have you considered a stem cell procedure? Now, you probably know a little something about it. Maybe some friends have had some stem cell procedures. And you're thinking, okay, you know what? I'd love to get back on the tennis court. Well, I'd be able to run again. Maybe you want to pick up a new sport. And the summer's the best time to be able to realize you're missing a whole bunch of fun. And that's why you want to get in touch with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. This man has been practicing medicine for 30 years. And a stem cell procedure, he's done more than 20,000 of them. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure, and Dr. Wagner is the man to see. In fact, everybody that'll tell you that knows anything about stem cell procedures, you got to get in with Wagner. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Nick, you know what's a great thing about about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. Assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility, rewarding work, and the chance to make a real difference in your community. If you've been a caregiver before, now is the perfect time to return to this meaningful career and continue making an impact. Washington needs more caregivers, and your compassion, work ethic, and ability to connect with people could be the answer. Turn your care for others into a career you'll love. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. The El Nino effect happening. There's a heat dome in France. Temperatures go up to about 104 degrees, breaking records from 2003 and 2019. 104 to 106 degrees. And France says, well, what we're going to have to do, because it is so hot, what's the best thing we can possibly do so we just keep people even more miserable? Let's not let them drink. Which, to me, one, how do you enforce it? And then I guess they just like to let them sell it, but no booze. They did the same thing in Spain, which during I think the World Cup out there too, and people are like still drinking. But France says, yeah, I guess it's to protect people from heat and then also alcohol.
As Parisians cool off on the banks of Canal Saint-Martin, the consumption of alcohol will be banned on public thoroughfares, so on the streets and in public squares due to a heat wave. Bars and outdoor terraces are not expected to be affected. But the measure is certainly not universally supported. Some people even plan to break the rules.
Oh, really? I fully intend to drink beer on Sunday, even if it means getting arrested.
We know this ban isn't going to work.
Hold on a second. Would you drink beer and then think, well, then they get arrested? Like, would you really want to go to prison or go to jail for drinking a beer?
No, I would not.
All right. You would just do it on the down low?
That's right.
All right. Hang on. More back and back this guy.
I fully intend to drink beer on Sunday, even if it means getting arrested.
We know this ban isn't going to work. To be honest, you can't really stop everyone from drinking on the streets of Paris. Since alcohol can cause dehydration, France's government doesn't want to overburden emergency services during Fête de la Musique. In this park in Bordeaux, electronic music concerts are due to take place on Sunday, and after fearing cancellation all afternoon...
Yeah, it's all sorted. 7 p.m. and the bar's open.
It's a relief for this organisation, as it's just announced that it will finally be able to sell wine and beer, the only way for it to break even. In return, it will have to ensure the safety of the attendees.
What about just letting adults be adults and make their own decisions? How about providing water or make sure that they can get some water somewhere? Like, that no one's allowed to drink alcohol because you got to go to the hospital and we got a really crappy, free healthcare system. They have to look out for their safety. How about let them do their own thing? This seems very un-French-ish.
And beer, the only way for it to break even. In return, it will have to ensure the safety of the attendees.
Yeah.
Relieved. After all that hard work, it would have been a shame if it had gone wrong. So we're happy.
I like that guy, the translator, speaking English but throwing in a fake French accent. I like that.
At this bar, the manager reckons the rules will be difficult to apply.
The trouble during a music festival, with the sheer number of people and crowd management, if you stick to the letter of the law, you can have a drink on that table over there, which is fine, but you can't have a drink on this pen over there.
It's also going to be hard for the police to enforce the measure.
Yeah, you think?
But France's Prime Minister, for his part, is calling for a degree of tolerance so as not to make life difficult for those on the ground.
Or we'll all go on strike for 3 weeks. Yeah, okay. Good for the French. I did that Ironman in France, coming down that hill in Nice, and there were no guardrails, and they warned you ahead of time. And people are bombing down the French Alps. There's nothing to protect you from going over the edge. And I'm right up next to this other guy. We're going along, and we're squealing on the brakes. I said, this is crazy. He goes, the French don't care.
Yeah. Even
That's what I like about them.
The Tour de France, they just let people spit on the riders and run in front of the bikes.
Well, they don't let them. They just...
Well, it just happens. But like you said, no guardrails.
But I'm just saying there's no guardrails on this stuff. And then the French can stop people from drinking alcohol. Je voudrais jambon fromage. I want to eat ham and cheese. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
All right, we've got an emergency bridge repair getting underway in Tacoma, westbound 16 at the Narrows Bridge. WashDOT crews are closing your 2 right lanes starting at Jackson Avenue as we speak. Along with the Jackson Avenue on-ramp to westbound 16, the HOV lane is open to all drivers during this time, and these closures are set to last well into the evening. At JBLM, North 5 of Bridgeport Way, we've got a collision blocking that right lane. Looks like they're getting ready to move this out of your way. Got about a 2-mile backup right now. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 40-minute commute. North end looking okay. The south end gets heavy south of State Route 18. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 5, and we're solid from Bellevue to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes, with solid backup starting at Lake City Way down to I-90. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details, to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Place with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Trump says Tehran agreed to nuclear inspections. Iran insists it's made no such promise. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, after landing in Abu Dhabi, says he can't answer why the Iranians are saying what they're saying publicly.
We know what they agreed to. I don't know why they have to say the things they say. Whatever their internal or domestic politics is, I guess they'll navigate it. But we know what they agreed to do, and now they'll either do it or they won't.
A symbolic vote in the Senate today adopting a House-passed Iran war powers resolution. 4 Republicans joining Democrats to say that the Iran war must stop unless the White House seeks congressional approval. The White House says that vote has, quote, no significance. In a 6-3 decision today, the Supreme Court rejecting Rastafarian former inmate's bid to sue for damages after he was forcibly shaved bald in prison. Police in Chico, California say that the 18-year-old suspect in a library shooting that left 2 people dead wanted to carry out a, quote, Columbine-style massacre. This is ABC News. Since the flesh-eating pest was detected near the U.S.-Mexico border earlier this month, the number of New World screwworm cases has risen to 16. Agricultural and animal health experts are taking their fight to the sky.
On a South Texas ranch, those on the front line in the battle against New World screwworm show off the drones that are buzzing over ranches and open fields.
Being able to look at animals that may have different behaviors or possible infestation.
Rear Admiral Michael Schmoyer is Washington's New World Screwworm Directorate. Drone-mounted surveillance gear can detect whether wild or domesticated animals have open wounds and possible screwworm infestation. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
It's NBA Draft Day at New York's Barclays Center, the home of the Brooklyn Nets, and the Washington Wizards hold the first overall pick. Analysts say the first pick could be either BYU forward A.J. DeBansta or Kansas guard Darren Peterson, who each played just one season of college hoops. Dave Packer, ABC News.
We are following a water rescue at this hour on Lake Washington, but first, Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
This is brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Tacoma, we've got emergency bridge repairs getting underway westbound 16 at the Tacoma Narrows. So 2 right lanes are blocked starting at Jackson Avenue. Also, your Jackson on-ramp to westbound 16 is closed. So the HOV lane is open to all drivers. These closures are set to last well into the evening. Tacoma to Olympia, under 40 minutes. You're looking real good. Renton to Puyallup has improved to 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, still about an hour commute. We're solid from mid-Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett, just 50 minutes with scattered slowing from Northgate into Mill Creek. South 5 is solid from about 80th to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the Aurora Bridge all the way down to the stadiums. And North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A water rescue today in South Seattle ends with one person in critical condition at the hospital. Capital 7 TV's El Thomas has the latest from Mount Baker Park.
There were reports of a person who jumped off the dock, went missing. Rescue swimmers entered the water. They were able to find that person. They were taken in critical condition to the hospital. No additional people involved as far as we know. We are waiting to get more information from crews on the scene.
A devastating loss for the local Jewish community after fire ripped through a funeral home attached to a synagogue in Seattle's Seward Park neighborhood this morning. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports from that scene.
Flames tore through the roof and jumped to a nearby building where a woman lived. She escaped, but the fire destroyed the funeral home.
If you're Jewish, 90% of all Jews in Washington state use this facility.
The synagogue president, Yusuf Shulman, said responders were able to help get 2 bodies that were in caskets out of the funeral home. They were fully prepared for burial under Jewish tradition, and the caskets were not damaged by the flames.
And the cause of that fire still under investigation. Busy day of sports and celebrations helped Seattle set a new record for shared bike and scooter rides. City says more than 83,000 trips were taken last Friday, the highest single-day total. Surge coming as people headed to the World Cup match, a Mariners game, and Juneteenth celebrations. Sound Transit's also reported a new record on Friday, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Sound Transit says preliminary numbers show about 280,000 Link Light Rail boardings leading up to, during, and after the big match between the USA and Australia, smashing the previous record of 220,000 from the Seahawks Super Bowl parade. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A welcome sight for the Mariners in Pittsburgh today.
Gone over the big wall in right center field. Cal Raleigh home run. Welcome back, Cal. That is great to see.
It was Raleigh's 8th homer of the season, his first for the M's in nearly 2 months. He missed about a month on the injured list with a right oblique strain. Right now, the Mariners in Pittsburgh down 2-1 in the top of the 6th. Your forecast now, we are looking at some mixed clouds and sunshine at this hour. More heat for tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect until 11 o'clock Wednesday nights. Currently 88 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Cannoli, gelato, fried apple pie.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Right there for everybody. Thank you for that little tasty treat there, Aaron. That's nice. There you go with the John Curley Show, and you must appreciate it. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Out again. Aaron Rye shot me a question, and then you already blew out of here.
I was busy.
I know, I could tell. With plenty of firepower and Midland results, do you think the Mariners should try to pick up somebody at the deadline or just trust the process and hope the wins start to come more consistently? Wow. I think the offense will figure itself out, but we could use some relief. Help. Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought you'd say.
Yeah.
There's your answer, right?
Best city on the planet, KIRO anchor. That would be you.
I saw them do that. I didn't know they were going to pull my little spiel I did with Jake and Spike yesterday.
They pull on your spiel all the time.
Well, you know.
It's a Murrow
It's taken out of
award-winning
context,
spiel.
by the way. It's taken out of context, that headline.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay, now we've got a controversy here.
No, it's not.
Best city on the planet, KIRO anchor on the Magic of Seattle World Cup. What's taken out of context?
I said if you had only been in Seattle for the last 4 or 5 days, you would think this is the best city on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
That's accurate.
Do you want to change it all? Then?
That's not quite as punchy as
no, it
for a
isn't
headline.
Really.
Though.
It sort of leaks out of its own side there. Yeah. All right. So, but you would say that based upon just, did you go down there? Were you part of the reverie?
Personally, I had one of my favorite days in Seattle as an adult, for sure, on Friday. Yeah. And as a father, too. I mean, I took the day off, and I took my wife and 8-year-olds down to Pioneer Square. We started the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we took the light rail down there. I was one of the 280,000, apparently.
Did you pay?
Yeah.
Did anybody else pay?
I don't know.
Okay, good. All right.
And it was phenomenal. I mean, Joe was down there, too. He can attest. I mean, the city never looked brighter and better and full of life and energy and spectacularly clean and just good vibes all over the place.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that what it sounded like? It did what it sounded
There it is. Yeah.
like.
There you were down there.
Yeah.
You're the waterfront.
Yeah. So I started in Pioneer Square. It was jumping.
Yeah.
It was wild. Is that? You can't see. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's my kid.
Oh yeah,
she made a cameo.
Yeah, see, you got a little video there. Okay, good. So just generally, everybody in a great mood.
Yeah.
The weather couldn't be more perfect for it.
The stars aligned for Friday. Yeah, I mean, it was like mid-70s. There was a cool breeze right on the waterfront there. And you could walk around with beverages, which was nice everywhere. I did that.
Yeah, I'd like them to keep that.
More than once.
A little bit of daddy juice.
A little bit of daddy juice.
Daddy juice. Did you know? So you didn't leave. So you took the kids home. Did it get rowdy at night? I know there were just about 4 arrests or something, but for the number of people that were down there, that's pretty good.
So I actually stayed for the Mariners game that night, which is why this has also turned into one of my favorite days.
Yes, got it.
I mean, it's the World Cup. Your city that you were born in, that you grew up in, that you still love and want to see succeed, was shining on the world's biggest stage. It looked phenomenal. The flyover looked cool. The stadium looked great. Of course, all the picturesque scenes on TV make Seattle look like a world-class city that it is, and that it really is. So the day started Pioneer Square. We had a great time there, but it was too crowded, so I took the kid down to Pier 62, and that was on the waterfront, and you have people lined up at the Seattle Aquarium there, on the lookout area there, with that giant screen. People going crazy for both goals down there. I walked around Pike Place. I was a tourist in my own city, just having a grand old time.
Did kids start complaining?
No, she loved it. My favorite part was at Pier 62. There was just this organic little, kind of like a hacky sack circle, but with the soccer ball.
Oh, yeah.
And I got involved, and the 8-year-old got involved, and it's just everyone just kicking a soccer ball around and with the game in the background.
And did somebody mug you?
No.
There was nothing. I don't know
I'm
what.
kidding.
I don't know where they hit everybody, but probably 12th and Jackson. But I did not see a single homeless person, a single person doing drugs. It was,
I mean, seriously, when Seattle looks good, it looks the best.
Yeah.
Did you find that to be a little hypocritical that we just sweep everything away, just push them back into some corner? Because you know that once World Cup leaves, it's all coming back again.
Probably is. Yeah, and I do.
But then you think, well, why don't they do that for us on a Wednesday?
I'm so tired of the old analogy. Oh, you clean when your guests come over. Yeah, I get that. But, we're a city. We're not a house.
Yes.
But I will say that when they had the All-Star game, Pioneer Square was a mess. It was still bad from COVID, and it had gotten really bad during those couple of years. But after the All-Star game, it stayed nice. They whatever they did, and I don't know if it's the ambassadors, or they had more cops down there, but they continued to keep kind of the bad apples out of Pioneer Square. So maybe there is a lasting effect from this.
All right.
I hope so.
Joe's always an optimist on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Aaron's favorite day in the city. So when you write
mine too, by the way.
Right?
Okay.
The Aussies were super fun.
And the patriotism too. Like everybody was out there. No matter what happened, people were screaming USA. There was none of this like anti-America vibe.
Absolutely,
anywhere. It was not seen.
Yeah, I dropped the kid and wife off at Light Rail so I can go to the game solo with a couple of friends.
Sure.
And in between, I went to like a karaoke bar with some friends, and the Aussies were singing, and the Americans were singing.
Did Aaron break out something from
You know, I tried, but the line was so long, and I only do karaoke if I've had a few. So, and I definitely had a few.
And what is the karaoke
song?
for?
Would have been, if I did it, American Girl by,
Tom Petty. Oh, she's an American girl, raised on promises.
I would need the lyrics up there.
I thought Counting Crows did American Girl.
No, Tom
Petty.
Come on, man.
Oh, Counting Crows.
Which song? Tom Petty?
Tom Petty.
Yeah, Tom
American
Petty.
Girl.
No,
How are you going to put it on? That was appropriate for the day. I would have been, again, I haven't had a few. I'm working
I understand.
today.
I understand. Yeah, go in there and breathe some of Nate's breath.
It's a great big world.
Right, well, we missed it.
I know.
Do you know the Counting Crows, American Girl?
No. Do you have it?
You get it,
Andrew? No.
Inferior.
Yeah.
No,
it's Tom
not.
Petty.
No, it's not. It's not Tom Petty. It's not even the same words. It's not even the same melody. It goes a little something like this with Counting Crows. And this. You know it? Well, keep it going. Just like, what are you making fun of it? Stop it, both of you. Shut up.
I mean, hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Because good punches.
Yes.
Here comes. Here comes it. American Girl.
Doesn't quite hit as much.
Nah.
Okay, oh, shush. Why don't you go to your little baby soccer game? I don't know. I just thought I'd say that. How are the businesses responding? Do they think it's going to work out for them all?
Are you asking me?
No. It's a lead-in.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
As a U.S. fan, being able to see it in this environment, it's surreal. Like bucket list, like times 10.
Heath Rush is only one of tens of thousands of soccer fans who have traveled to the Emerald City for the World Cup and are filling every day by exploring all aspects of Seattle.
We flew up. We made it happen. Did the full day, ball games after a Mariners game. It's great times here.
A week of daily watch parties on Pier 62 has packed the waterfront with crowds of locals and visitors. That's translating into a major boost in foot traffic for nearby shops, restaurants, and bars.
It's just really nice to feel the energy of an international crowd down in all of our restaurants, down at the attractions, on the boat, things like that.
Miners landing at Pier 57. Sean Fisher says the buzz of World Cup, paired with normal cruise and peak tourism seasons, are strong signs of high profit.
You know, there was a little bit of a question mark on what it was going to feel like and what it was going to look like.
It's not just visitors who are adding to Seattle's crowds. Locals from across Western Washington say they're eager to be a part of the global experience, too. And now the possibility of another Team USA game taking place on Seattle's pitch has local spots gearing up for more business.
How lucky are we to be able to experience this? It's a magical time for the city.
Yeah, good for them. I heard some people saying, well, the thing is they come here and then to come to the game, and then they'll come back as tourists. Normally, it's only about 5 to 10% of people will return. Most of these people that come to the cities are coming for that event. But it doesn't hurt if they come and have a great time and said, oh, we went to the World Cup in Seattle and it was really nice. You know, you should go there. So.
Yeah, if you were here last Friday as a visitor, you'd definitely come back.
Okay, so you think people that are going to come here for that, they're going to come back again?
I think probably, especially if you're, I mean, maybe not from Australia, but a few of them too.
Okay.
It was a good look.
By the way, Elle, who was in here working for you on Friday, Ella, I call her Elle. Her big thing was she wanted to go down to the where all the festivities were and meet an Australian doctor.
A doctor?
It's fairly specific.
Really?
What? Yeah. She had a whole plan, but she wanted to meet an Australian guy. I said, you're going to fall in love in like 48 hours, it's over? She goes, I know, but he's very, very romantic. So that was her plan. I don't know if remember that?
I'll text her and ask if she met her doctor.
Yeah. Said if you want an Australian doctor. I said, no, he's going to have the accent and like the hair and the hair and everything.
Just the accent. Is that all she does? She only cared about the accent.
That's all she cared about. It was just a guy with an Australian accent down there. Well, I'm glad it all worked out. And now I guess the big story is that when Iran and Egypt get a chance to come and play on Friday, you can, if you'd like, you can bring your pride flags. And are you allowed to wave them around in the stadium?
Yes.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how many people do that, right? Like, why would you do it? Do you think people will do it? Do you think people will bring pride flags? So here's Egypt and here's Iran. They're not big on the LGBT stuff. That's their culture, and we've always been told to respect everybody else's culture, and we should really be able to celebrate diversity. And isn't multiculturalism great? I've never been a believer in that. I think some cultures are better than other cultures, but we were always told, oh, no, everyone's culture is great, except for America's going to have a crappy culture. But you're celebrating other people's cultures, so they're coming here, and they, if you happen to be gay, it doesn't go so well for you if you happen to be in some other countries. So will people show up and will they wave the flag around? Like, hey, look at me. I like to have sex with men. I'm a man. Or, hey, I'm a woman. I like to have sex with women. Here's my flag, right? Will they show up with the flags? What do you think? Yes or no?
There'll be a few, but
Joe's prediction.
A few.
A few flags.
There'll be a few flags, but I think mostly, I think the majority of the crowd will be Egypt or Iranian fans. So
right.
I doubt they'll be waving many flags.
Probably not.
Again, I think also part of that culture is the theocracy that runs those countries, particularly in Iran. I don't think a lot of, 80% of the people are not really devoted to the theocracy. They just happen to live underneath it.
Yes, I get it.
So this may be their only chance to wave a pride flag. And if that's their thing, then they can do it.
I think this weekend is the Pride Parade, correct?
Right.
So I think it starts on Friday in this city. That always starts on Friday and goes all weekend. So I think we're going to see a lot of them there, flags.
Outside of the stadium.
Not at the game.
No, not at the game because you got to get tickets to get in there. Well, but outside.
Well, wasn't there some concern that some of the players, there were security issues, and that's why they might be going somewhere else?
Yes, but they resolved that. Both Egypt and the Iran players can now stay here.
Okay. So they don't have to go to Spokane. They're going to be here.
Yep, they have to stay here for a couple of days, I think, prior to their next match in Vancouver.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So I think I can't imagine somebody wanting to actually bring a flag into the game because it wouldn't. Why would you do that? Unless you wanted to have a fight or you wanted to protest your own personal protest against these other countries that are having their own culture.
Right, but again, I think the most of the population is not as stringently, theocratized like the government is, or at least the ruling government in Iran is. So I'm sure plenty of the fans don't care, and they're not going to fight you over it.
Yeah, I'm just looking up to see what percentage of Iranians are pro. Just to see the percentage in there, because there are. If you're a devout Muslim, that doesn't fly with those guys. So, yeah, I realize there's a great percentage of people that are in Iran that don't cotton to any of the wanting to throw people off of buildings. But Iran's Islamic penal code criminalizes same-sex activities. Iran is one of the small number of countries worldwide imposing death penalties on homosexual acts under Sharia law, right? And what is generally interested, yeah. So 58.8% of Iranian respondents agree that homosexuals should be able to enjoy all citizens. This is you, Joe. All citizens' right, just like everybody else. Another 31% said homosexuality is neither a sin nor a crime. It's sexual orientation, a private matter. Only 1.5% agree with the statement homosexuality is a sin, and 6% say that it was a disease that must be cured. But overall, 70% of Iranians oppose the use of laws against gay and lesbians. So there you go.
You probably won't get punched.
Huh?
You probably won't get punched if you're waving a flag.
Okay, there we go. That settles that.
That's
right
good.
There. Good. Yeah. No, it's no punch day. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Did we get? I don't have time for these, do I?
We can roll a couple things over. We need to.
Do roll over? Jimmy Carter cried when he heard this, and go to on the fly. This is exciting stuff that would normally be happening during the commercial break, but we're pulling back the big dusty curtain that smells like cigarettes. Do we skip? Do we do Crazy Candace Owen and Butler, or do we go to Jimmy Carter cried when he heard this?
I think it's between the new Butler conspiracy and the Orcas Island aliens.
Okay, but you know what we'll do? We'll make that decision during the break.
Wow, that's a tease.
Thank you, Gas Old Lady. Thanks for withholding. And here's Nate checking traffic.
All right, in Tacoma, emergency bridge repairs. Westbound 16 at the Narrows Bridge has 2 right lanes closed at Jackson. Your Jackson on-ramp is closed as well to westbound 16. The HOV lane open to all drivers. You're backed up to Pearl Street. South 5 heading into Tacoma slows from State Route 18 off and on down to State Route 16. Federal to Tacoma, though, just 15 minutes. That means you're close to the speed limit here. Renton to Puyallup, 35 minutes. And North 405 scattered back up some South Center through the Renton S-curves. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is at 40 minutes, 10-minute delay, and we're bumper to bumper from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC, where we recently cleared a collision. Here in Seattle, South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle has just spiked to 50 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 45. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Deep to right field. Going. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch.
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The next Mariners homestand gets started on June 29th with an epic 3-day giveaway. Don't miss your chance to score a Cal Raleigh Funko Pop collectible. June 29th, June 30th, and July 2nd against the Angels. Available to the first 10,000 fans each game. Score value tickets for less than $12 for all 3 dates at mariners.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A 17-year-old boy is now fighting to stay alive after he was pulled from Lake Washington today. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss reports the teen jumped off a dock in the Mount Baker neighborhood.
Crews got the call just before 3:45. They were here within minutes. They say that teen was found underwater for at least 10 minutes, but they were able to find him, thankfully, pull him to shore and tried giving him aid.
The teen was rushed to Harborview at last check in critical condition. A Kansas man is suspected of assaulting a woman aboard a Hawaii to Seattle flight this morning. Federal officials say the 31-year-old was arrested at SeaTac when he landed. Investigators say he forced the woman to climb over him to get to her seat, then allegedly touched her thigh as she tried to sleep. The 27-year-old reported it, and crews moved her. Again, he was arrested and taken into custody. We are getting new details on what Bill Gates told lawmakers earlier this month about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
After Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates tried to end his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender attempted to use compromising information about Gates' extramarital affairs to force his way back into Gates' life, he told the House Oversight Committee earlier this month, according to a transcript of the closed-door testimony released Tuesday. Gates, according to the transcript, said Epstein used an advisor to send him veiled threats, appeared to coach Gates' advisor on how to potentially blackmail him, and mixed fact and fiction to leverage compromising information against the software billionaire. Peter Harlambus, ABC News.
A woman was ticketed today after troopers say she was asleep at the wheel, literally, on I-5 in Federal Way. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas explains.
The Tesla driver passed a trooper on I-5 going 78 miles per hour. Well, quickly after that, the trooper realized the driver was asleep and the car was on autopilot. The trooper managed to stop the car, and that driver was given a ticket for second-degree negligent driving.
And that takes us to 5:32. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic.
Thank you, sir. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has our update. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. We're slow from 520 all the way to 527 in Canyon Park. You'll clear out for a couple miles, and then you jam up again in Alderwood as you approach the interchange. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. We're crowded from Lake City Way into Mill Creek. Everett to Marysville is going to take you 15 minutes. It's a heavy commute from 526 up to Marine View Drive, where we just cleared a collision to your right shoulder. South 5 into Seattle, bumper to bumper from 85th to the Convention Center. Then you'll clear out pretty quickly. Linwood to Seattle, however, is taking you 50 minutes. Southbound 99, bumper to bumper from the zoo into the downtown tunnel. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is at 40 minutes. About a 10-minute delay here. It's bumper to bumper from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th, where we had an earlier collision that cleared about 15 minutes ago. And North 405 still slows from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door, plus 12 months free financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Into the forecast now. We have one more hot day in store. The heat advisory continuing into tomorrow, expiring at 11 o'clock Wednesday nights. And then a big cool down in store with some showers moving through. The wettest day looks to be on Friday. Right now, 88 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, Katie's very excited to push that button that spins the wheel with the names of all the players. Yeah, you are. Introduce yourself. There they go. The names of all the players on the wheel, red, white, and blue, in honor of the 250th birthday of the greatest country ever conceived. Lands on Joe. Joe, there you go. You got your recipe there?
Oh, my. Yes, I call this the World Cup Scramble. I like to take 2 Wilcox Family Farm eggs. I dye them on the outside blue and red, and I keep 1 white. Then I crack each of those into the nice little bowl.
I think you're lying.
No, I'm not. Then I add a little bit of cheese, a little bit of peppers, some green onions, salt, pepper, the usual.
Yeah.
Whisk it up really nice, and then I make throw it on the pan and make a nice little scramble.
There it is. There it's a scramble. That's your World Cup Scramble.
That's right. I throw the eggs away, though, the shells anyway.
Yeah, but get rid of those. Keep me your diet. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. All the recipes coming to you in a leather-bound book for that one right there. All right, did we vet this one? This story?
We did.
Okay.
Actually.
We did. Because, I mean, anything coming, from Candace Owens is always like, really? So, of course, everybody knows that, or you may remember, July 13th, 2024, in Butler, Pennsylvania, Thomas Matthew Crooks fires off a number of rounds from his perch there, and he ends up hitting 3 people in the audience. He kills 50-year-old firefighter Corey Kementori, and of course, one of the bullets grazes the ear of the president. Now, little stuff that is, FBI said, we couldn't find any of his accounts. Later on, they get in there and not the FBI, but others investigating find out that Crooks has got 17 social media accounts, YouTube, Snapchat, Venmo, a few other things in there. But FBI said, no, we couldn't find only but 1. So there's still some stuff going on as to what really happened and are they holding back information. So then you get Candace Owens, who comes in with this story that she got from somebody. And then it says, so somebody else gave this to Candace Owens? Okay.
Yeah, this is somebody else telling.
Okay, so here's the thing. There is the firefighter with his family, and he gets shot and killed. Just, it's, innocent bystander. Crooks was trying to kill the president, right? And then you get this.
I've got some connections to make, and it all ties into the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, 2024. We all know Corey Comparator was fatally shot protecting his wife and kids. But did you also know that he was actively speaking out against the mysterious death of his buddy Mark Leedy?
Okay. Mysterious death of Mark Leedy. If you look that up, Mark Leedy did die a mysterious death of a weird explosion that took place. And then this guy goes on to explain who Mark Leedy is.
Not only that, he wasn't even supposed to be in the front row. Leedy randomly approached him and his family while they were going to their regular seats and told them to sit up front.
That's true. There were 3 or 4 tickets, and they moved him not to the front row, but to the second row right behind Trump.
Now, Mark Leedy worked for a company that produced the same explosives that were used in all of those pager attacks that killed the Palestinians. He had also...
Is that the same place from Tennessee?
I don't think so.
Different place that also made the explosive things? Okay.
But it was in Lebanon where the pagers went.
Okay, hang on.
Produced the same explosives that were used in all of those pager attacks that killed the Palestinians. He had also confided in his buddy Corey Comparator of some of the things that his company was doing. And not long after that, Mark was burning papers in a barrel in his backyard when he mysteriously exploded. Here's the news clip.
It's being called a freak accident. A healthy, active 48-year-old killed when something inside the burn barrel he was using ignited, causing an explosion, sending shrapnel flying through the air.
You put all of this together, you have Mark Leedy confiding in his buddy Corey Comparator of some of the things that his company is doing. And then Mark Leedy randomly explodes. And then Corey Comparator starts speaking out against the mysterious death of his buddy. He's randomly pushed to the front row of this rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and then he's fatally shot in the head. Makes you wonder who the real target was.
Okay. The question, I can't find anywhere where Corey is speaking out about his friend's mysterious death or about what was happening there with the explosions. This just adds one more piece to the story. Because you're thinking, okay, so the guy really wasn't trying to kill Trump, make it look like he was trying to kill Trump, but really they just wanted to kill this guy, Corey. And what, in a very public place like this? Just to get him out of there?
If you buy it, I guess it's kind of a 2 birds with 1 stone scenario where, hey, we can make it seem like somebody's trying to assassinate the president and at the same time get rid of this guy who's got this dirt that we can't let get
Okay,
out.
so if we were detectives, you'd have to say, okay, so who's the mysterious woman that moved them to the front row? Because that would be somebody that would have a motive for them to sit in a different location to where they were sitting. They would have to know who he was, and they would have to go up to him with the intent of moving him out of his regular seats to a seat where it's in a clear line of fire.
And they would have to know that he was going to be there in the first place and make sure.
Right.
There was a lot of weird things that took place even after the shot was fired. There's the scene or the video you can find of the Secret Service guy, and he's orchestrating the photographers to come by and just like through this area where nobody should be allowed at this point and point directly up at Trump and the flag and get those like iconic shots. That was really, really, really weird. That almost seemed like it was like, hey, we're prepared for this.
Gosh,
I know.
Again, Joe, you go in that rabbit hole.
This is your rabbit hole.
This isn't my hole. It's nothing new. I don't want to. I have no orifice involved in this.
You sent me this. Go
Only
on.
because I'm just feeding your rabbit hole.
Oh, you want me to be frustrated?
I do. I saw it there. There's more for Joe. Just throw more logs on the fire. Smoke out that rabbit. Yeah, because then the other part of it is like, did people saw him ahead of time? They saw Crooks ahead of time climbing up onto the thing. They said, hey, there's somebody up there, but never got to the Secret Service. Plus, they also saw him with a drone earlier. No one thought that was mysterious that he was walking around. So
I thought the weirdest part about Butler is that Trump is such a grandstander, and he uses whatever he can to kind of rile people up and to either play the victim or to just to basically tout what he's been through. And the fact that he talked about it this one time barely at the
Republican
convention, with the pillow on his ear, and then never again. I mean, that is so not Trump. He would be banging this drum all the time.
It's about, as you know, they tried to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. That to me is the weirdest part.
And then also people are like, let's see a picture of your ear.
Yes.
And the other, I'll just add one more last thing. I mean, if somebody had taken a shot at you and now there's all the mayhem, the shots ring out, and the guy behind you has been killed, shot in the head, right? And you keep saying, look at my shoes on, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you come out of your shoes? That's a whole other story.
Well, and Joe Kent told us on the show that he was not allowed to even investigate.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that behind all of this, whether it's MLK and JFK, Robert Kennedy as well. None of it. All of the stuff is just completely, they hogwash all of us with all of it.
Yeah, we've never been told anything close to the truth.
Right. Nothing.
What a bunch of hogwash.
Exactly. Thank you, Jay Inslee.
On that, you and Jay agree.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Yes, sir. Bellevue to Everett down to 55 minutes. Still pretty solid, though, between 520 and that Alderwood interchange. You got a mile or so clearing through Canyon Park. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. We're crowded from Northgate through Linwood. South 5 into Seattle, still bumper to bumper at 85th down to the Convention Center. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 45, 50 minutes. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the zoo into the downtown tunnel. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 20 minutes on 520. It's all clear until you reach Montlake. 35 minutes on I-90. You're slow from Island Crest Way all the way to I-5. Bellevue to Renton on 405, a 40-minute commute still, and we're still solid from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th, where we have a collision on the right shoulder. It isn't blocking, but drivers are still slowing at the seam. And North 405 still crowded from South Center through those Renton S-curves. Down in Tacoma, emergency bridge repairs on westbound 16 at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge has 2 right lanes closed at Jackson. Your Jackson on-ramp to westbound 16 is closed as well, so the HOV lane open to all drivers right now. You're backed up approaching Pearl Street. This will likely be closed well into the evening. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Closets by Design, second day at the barn. They did amazing work. Then Nick's like, you know what? I think I want him to have him come back and do something in the laundry room. I said, okay. And then she goes, and by the way, Rye's going to be living with us for the summer. Doesn't have a closet. Let's get him to come in. So they come in. They knew exactly what they're going to do to highly customize 2 or 3 closets, all there for us, and doing an amazing work. The great thing is now we have space that we haven't utilized before, so now everything has a place. There's parts of your house that just aren't functioning correctly. Maybe the pantry, you can't find anything in there. The garage, it's a 2-car garage, but now it's a half-a-car garage because there's so much stuff everywhere. The entertainment center, the laundry room, the home office, and you start to store stuff in little areas. Maybe you think about getting a storage cabinet or a storage shed. Don't waste your money with that. Just make sure the parts of your house that have open space that could possibly have new cabinets are customized, and they're there for you by Closets by Design. They're customized without the big customized price, 40% off plus 15% off. It's Closets by Design. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready
to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to my friend Brock Heward. Brock, why did you call First Mark?
Brandy, it is so good to talk to you. It's been too long, and we made that call. And the only bummer is we waited too long. I know you hear from people that you talk to as well as I do to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. I just wish we would have done it earlier. You know, Brandy, the word that comes to my mind is a word I use on my sports show a lot, and that is connective tissue. It's important in team building. It's important to players in a locker room to be connected to others. And when it comes to insurance, it's so complicated. It's stressful, and you just don't even want to deal with it. And that's where the connective tissue of having a pro, having a broker, having a partner, and most of all, having a teammate like First Mark Insurance was the best connective tissue we could find.
Brock did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Rushing in with the letters, all the letters. Oh, wow. A little early on it, too. The mailman, they're mailing right in. This is clockwork. Thank you, Joe.
I'm the mailman. As you can see, I'm the mailman. Don't nobody mess with me.
Don't mess with him, Joe.
If you didn't know, I'm the mailman. I bring the mail to your door.
Right to your door. We get the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Sarita Full on YouTube says, "Praise the Lord, John is back. The audience needs to know, Joe, why did John and Ella peace out an hour early on Friday with no notice?"
I don't
know what you're talking about.
I don't think that happened.
I don't think that happened either.
Is it
Tina?
Tina, yeah. Glad to see John is in attendance today. Okay, Tina.
Clip San Paul says, currently a comfortable 71 out here on Long Beach Peninsula today. The sun's out, not a cloud in the sky.
Thank you for that, Paul. Appreciate the update on the weather. Boat worker Seth says, it's been a long, hot day, and now it's time for a beer and some curly. Thank you.
No. Dwayne from QFC says, happy you're all in the studio today. It really does make my day when you're all together. For some reason, watching online like I do, it cuts out to some lame blank picture of trees with a countdown. Anyway, my old school radio's up and running. Love you guys.
Thank you, Dwayne QFC. Always good to have him coming and going. He holds us accountable for the things we do. You notice that? We use him as the barometer.
That's right.
Brian at Capitol Hill says having crispy fried Wilcox eggs with teriyaki tofu scrambled for tonight. You guys should come to the Pride Fest.
Yum!
Okay, nice. We got a recipe in there and invite to the Pride Fest.
That's right. He was going to come to your house on Christmas. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, kids taught to be afraid. Dog in Mount Vernon says 13% of kids trust adults. Distrust taught to children by teachers. 1 out of 6 kids learn distrust from the teacher, and 4 of 6 learn distrust from conspiracy theories.
Train leaving Indiana, traveling 30 miles an hour. Biscuit from Everett says the entire 306 segment today should be summarized, old man yells at clouds. I loved it. Well, thank you.
Steve-O says, I think the Trump administration is exploiting the fears of others with all his anti-immigrant and anti-non-white rhetoric. The hard right and the hard left exploit the ignorance of people.
True that. Yeah, both sides. So that if you follow one side or you follow the other, then you give up because neither one is able to win on it.
Agreed.
Jeff in Kirkland says, I'm sure headlines like Seattle is dying also makes people and kids feel unsafe, when though the real numbers on crime show Seattle is doing better for decades.
Sharon the Scrabble Savant says, sensationalism sells. On a day-to-day basis, most people are decent in my 66 years.
I agree with you, Sharon. 206, John, the democratic socialist countries in Europe still have police and prisons, and their income inequality is much more controlled. Maybe that's why the kids like it.
On the Washington weed warning.
By the way, did you know that UK, if you took somebody from UK, their GDP, they would be poorer than Mississippi? That if they became the 51st state.
The UK?
They could become the 51st state and then be like, look at how much money everybody makes. There would be Mississippi and then right under there would be UK.
But they don't count as a democratic socialist country, do they?
They're pretty socialist.
All right. The Washington weed warning. David, the naked mailbox guy, says,
good.
Thanks for the Frisbee shout out. Put a smile on my face, Hermanos.
Remember those days? Did you do that? To flip over the Frisbee and then you just sort out all your stuff and keep complaining about all the sticks?
I didn't have. I luckily.
It passed you.
Yeah.
Barbara, the 425 says, did you see RFK Jr. at WUSA versus Ozzy? He was there for the pot testing. Who was here for the pot testing?
WUSA.
I don't know. so many letters flying around.
CT says, remember back in the good old days when whether a president smoked pot once in his life was a big issue?
That's right. More Butler conspiracy. Stephen Puyallup says, my favorite arc of the show has gone from Joe's conspiracy theory trance. Please keep it going. Is it really a conspiracy theory if it's all true?
I'll do Ted from Tacoma. You take 206.
206, the shooter's autopsy is kind of weird.
Ted from Tacoma says the Secret Service are also trained to take the president down to the ground, and yet they allowed him to stand up for a number of seconds with his hand in the air, and none of them tried to push him down.
Yeah. Let's see. World Cup, Seattle 425. Soccer players from Egypt and Iran. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Already?
Wow.
And now it is time
Teeny coming in.
of the day.
We're just getting started.
She's the taskmaster.
This comes to us from Dom the Amazing. When I was a psychotherapist, I treated several adolescents with existential anxiety instilled in them by teachers and TikTok. They had been convinced the earth would be gone in 10 years and just didn't see the point in trying.
Oof.
But in addition to social media and social justice teachers, I believe we are also seeing the results of parents wanting to be peers and liked by their kids rather than being parents and setting boundaries and limits while risking their kids being unhappy with them.
Amen.
If you can walk all over your parents is supposed to keep you safe,
yes,
then it feels like everything else in the world can get you as well. Hard to feel safe when your protector is busy being your pal.
That's right. You don't need another friend. You need a parent.
That's right.
Just so when the kid says, I think there's a monster under the bed, you put your arm under and act like you're being pulled under by the monster.
Question.
Yes, Nate.
Which American president smoked dope but did not inhale?
Well,
Come on, man.
Come on, Nate.
BC, the sax player.
That's it, baby.
That's all she wrote.
Winner.
Do you think you can stump us with that one?
Well, you gotta try.
All right.
That's all I got.
Obviously. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
Belvedere, just under an hour, 55 minutes, still solid from 520 all the way to the Alderwood interchange with a little break here and there. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. You're crowded from Northgate through Linwood. South 5 is solid from 85th to the Convention Center. It's still about a 45-minute ride from Linwood into downtown. Southbound 99, if you're thinking of going that route, we're bumper to bumper from the zoo into the downtown tunnel. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 20 minutes on 520. We've got a new stall at the on-ramp from Montlake Boulevard, but really just a brief backup right there at the scene. Otherwise, that route is wide open. It's 40 minutes now on I-90, and it is heavy from Island Crest Way all the way to I-5. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes, bumper to bumper from 520 to Northeast 44th, and the Hood Canal Bridge just closed for a marine crossing. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know, when the AC starts acting up, the first thought most people have is, oh boy, I need a whole new machine. Oh my God, what's the whole new system going to cost? Often, that's not always the best assumption to jump to. So Home Comfort Alliance, the approach is simple. They want to repair first and then replace only if needed. Their technicians diagnose the real problem before recommending anything, because a worn-out part or simple fix often gets you back to cooling again without the cost and the time of replacement. So if you need something new, you maybe ask for a heat pump because it keeps you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, all in one system. You will find out the cost either way. You don't want to wait or be left on hold or try to guess. That's what Home Comfort Alliance has got, this real pricing that you can get 60 seconds right there on your phone. There's no pressure, no guesswork, just honest answers from the people that have been doing it for almost 50 years. For heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, you want to call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance and find out about that heat pump and cooling all in one. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Ooh, it is hot outside.
Western Washington is under a heat advisory.
So yeah, stay hydrated and stay with KIRO News Radio for updates on our record heat wave.
If we get to 90, it'd be the second time this June that we've done that.
Together with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather.
It's going to be interesting here for the next couple of days.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
In the Northwest 20 years ago, 90 was unforget about it.
The KIRO News Radio app and your smart speaker.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often.
At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs. Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement. And your fees? We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value